All right. Shoot. God dang. Welcome to. Is that where we're starting? All right. Welcome to What Did I Miss podcast with Dennis Styles. On this show, I'll be covering all the stuff not on my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth, from movies and gaming reviews to movie and gaming news to anime and comic books, and honestly anything else I feel like yapping about. And new episodes drop weekly. One thing that I noticed is that I did not mention that the episodes drop weekly in my intro, and I've been doing this for what 12 weeks now. What is that, like 3 months? Yeah, yeah, like 3 months I think. But yeah, I just had to put in episodes drop weekly. So the news though, looking for this week. Oh wait, time out. I don't think I really said like Happy New Year to like, I don't know if whoever listens to this, but I hope everyone has a good, strong new year and everything. And yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But this week the news is we got some somewhat disappointing news. MCU developments with Steven Yuen dropping out of the Thunderbolts. But on the upside of that, we have some interesting MCU rumors about like the street level arc, dealing with the Kingpin and his role in the MCU going forward, and going forward with like Echo, really introducing him back into the MC, or yeah, I guess back in the MCU, because Daredevil is canon now. I'll get to that later, but there's some other worthwhile MCU rumors. We got some Spawn movie updates, which has been in development since like 2017. I've ever since I heard about that, I've been super hyped about that. I think Spawn's a super cool character, and he really gets into some really crazy stuff. So I'll be talking about that a little later. And we got a decent amount of gaming news this week, which is always great. Usually I don't have like a bunch of gaming news because like I don't know, like it's just not shown to me. I guess I need to like try to get more exposed to that, and pick into get into that. But the main topic for this week, as we gear up for Echo, the new Marvel show dropping next week, um we're gonna talk about the best and worst live action Marvel TV shows, and not just like the Disney Plus ones, but like the Netflix ones, and then even stuff outside of that, like Legion and what are some others, like the original Incredible Hulk series, yeah, and there's some other ones. But yeah, we'll be getting to that, and there's time codes below, so feel free to jump around to whatever part you want to. All right. Dang, that was pretty smooth. I'm not gonna lie. It's sounding real professional. Real profess. I love it. Um, but yeah. What I missed though last week, bro, last week I'm so disappointed with myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, because when I was talking about like the best movies of 2023, I was just like blanking on some bangers that I watched, and honestly, my voice probably like cracked weird there. But honestly, it wouldn't have. These were good movies, but it wouldn't affect like my overall though. Like I picked for my favorite, which was Spider Verse, because like But I just didn't even mention them, and I was like, damn, those were some good movies. But They Clone Tyrone, that dropped on Netflix last year, that was really good, with Jamie Foxx, John Boyega, and what's her name? I gotta look her up because she's really good. She plays Monica Rambeau in the Marvels in the MCU and stuff. I'm just gonna look up the Marvels cast. Hold on. What is her name? Because I really like her a lot. Tyrone Paris. Yeah. She's really good. In that movie too. But yeah, the whole class is good. I really like the plot and the overall like message, and it's really good. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. It's on Netflix. And then also Air with is Matt Damon in it? Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, is if I'm remembering correctly. And who's in Viola Davis? No. Is it Viola Davis? We'll see. We'll look at the cast right here. Oh, Chris Tucker in this movie too. Yeah, so it has Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Chris Tucker, Jason Bateman, Viola Davis, um, and some other really good people too. But yeah, that cast is really good, and I really like that movie. And the killer, David Finch. I didn't finish it, but I fell asleep. But I really like that movie. I thought it was made well. I really like all the cinematography, and the way that the action was shot and stuff. And then a horror movie called Talk to Me. I don't really watch a lot of horror movies, but this one was like just seemed really interesting, and it really was, honestly. I think it's an A24, not production, but I probably like distribute it out. But that was a really good movie. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about because I just did mention a lot of good movies, and I was blanking a lot of stuff in it, and also I was blanking on some anticipated games too, like Mouse. That was something I talked about a couple weeks ago. I'm really looking forward to that. Gonna throw that up on my second gaming channel. A playthrough of that at DS2 Smooth Elongated. The links and stuff will be in the description if you want to check out my gaming channel. Right now I'm playing through Cyberpunk, and I honestly I just been taking my pace, my time with that channel, and not making really a priority because no one's really checking it out right now. So it makes no sense to like really stress like, damn, I gotta get through Cyberpunk and take away time from editing and whatnot. So I just been just throwing stuff up on there when I would really have some time. Really, as I really don't even play the game anymore. I'm kind of sad about that because I I'm playing through Marvel's Midnight Suns right now, and I've been playing it for a while because like I just barely hop on. There's always like editing or just trying to watch something for a video or this podcast or just something like that, or just watching stuff on my own that I yeah. So it's this I just don't have a lot of time for gaming, and there's a lot of good games I want to play too. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is if more people start to check that up, I'll make that more of a priority and get that content out pushed out at a quicker pace. And honestly, yeah, I don't want to get into it. Whatever. Let's get into the news. Reportedly, there's a rumor, MCU rumor. Let's start off with the MCU rumors phrase first. This is by Daniel Richmond. Without Daniel Richmond, we'll probably be not talking about nothing. I would probably find something to talk about, but I really like talking about his rumors, and even if they're like not true, it's fun to speculate and see, because even if like I feel like even if this isn't true, there's always like kind of some truth to it or a variation. I don't know. Regardless, and his stuff is sometimes correct and he is sometimes wrong, and he'll admit it if stuff is wrong too. Like, oh shit, I got that wrong, my bad, or whatever. So the fuck was on my desk? I don't know what that was, but anyways, what was the rumor? Sam Rockwell reportedly had talks with Marvel Studios to return as Justin Hammer in Armor Wars. They're aiming for a 2025 filming date. Honestly, so Armor Wars is gonna be starring Don Cheadle as I almost said Tony Stark, James Rhodes as War Machine, and he's basically going around the world cleaning up. I think Iron Man's tech got out, and so people were actually able to make. I talked about this because I think I was talking about some Ironheart stuff last week. But what was I saying? Yeah, his tech gets out, and people are starting to get like Iron Man suits and stuff like that, and he's just going around and cleaning that up. So I like Don Cheadle. I think he's kind of underutilized in the MCU. War Machine. I feel like he's a really good character, honestly. And, oh fuck, is he a scroll now? I forgot all about that. Is he a scroll now? What's happening with that, or how long he's been gone? Has it been since Civil War, or I know when Secret Invasion, I think people did say when he was snatched up, but I don't remember. I don't remember. The only thing I really remember from Secret Wars is that end battle. Keep it a buck with you, and Maria Hill dying. I don't care about if I spoil that. I'm sorry. Because Maria, fucking stuttering like a mug. But anyways, Maria Hill, god damn. let me take a breath real quick, because that's embarrassing. Maria Hill, I really like her character. She's fucking Robin Scherbatsky from fucking How I Met Your Mother, so that's always enjoyable when she pops up. I really like that show. What was I saying? I was talking about Oh yeah, is Rhodey a scroll now? So what are they gonna address that in Armor Wars or what? But I was saying that Ironheart, I think they're gonna try to tie that more into Armor Wars, because I mean that makes sense. There's Iron Man centric characters, why not have them interact? I know Ironheart was like was gonna fight the Hood and stuff, but it would be better. I mean the Hood I want to see, because like I think someone plays like things like Borat or something, but he's a really good actor, or a really funny actor. I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff, so I can't like say if he's a really good actor. But I've seen like Borat like really like a long time ago, so I really like him in that, and like him being Mephisto. That's just like really interesting casting, and I really wanted to see that like how that plays out. But it would be better if like for the universe if she was dealing with stuff with Rhodey, like stuff that's Rhodey's dealing with, and help him with that and stuff, and make that more connected. But anyways, the main rumor, Jesus, that was a long tangent. Sorry. Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer. I love Rockwell as Justin Hammer. He's so funny in Iron Man 2. He just like hams it up, and he's just like, dancing around on his intro, and when we first see him. And then what else? And just I don't know, he just is really fun. And then I think he was in Secret Wars more recently. Did he reprise his role, or was that a different voice actor? Let's see. What if Happy Saved Christmas? I think that was the episode he was in, and he was still really good in that. Like he was still like bombastic and stuff like that. Um, let's see. I clicked on it and it did not load. Let's see. Oh, he did come back and voice him in What If. That's really fun, actually. So yeah, if he's in Armor Wars, that would be really good because like we haven't seen him since Iron Man 2, or technically What If, but that's, I guess, like it could be canon with the decided to bring. But anyways, we haven't seen him and he's really good. So, and that would be something, really good callback, and really have him, because that was his main goal in Iron Man 2, was to like get super suits, and then like how Tony exposed him during the court thing like that. I don't know. I really want to see that. I really want to see Justin Hammer return to the universe. So that would be really fun if for Armor Wars, and it makes me more interested. And I was already interested into it, and I was really happy that it got turned into a movie from a show that they're originally planning to do. Because yeah, like I was just saying, like War Machine and Don Cheadle are really underutilized, and yeah. I don't know. So this is some rather really interesting, and really like could tell, if this is true, really speak to like where the universe is going from here there. But anyways, the news is Coleman Domingo is reportedly among the actors being considered to replace Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. So Coleman Domingo, he's a really good actor. I haven't really seen him star in anything. But everything I see him in, he's super good. He's in The Walking Dead. Oh, he's in Candyman. Cool. Fear the Walking Dead. Let me look at his movies and shows. He's in Rise of the Beast. Interesting. Oh, I think I think I did hear about that. He voiced the villain in that. That's pretty cool. I gotta check out that movie. I was honestly like, when Transformers Rise of the Beast, I was like really excited about that when it was coming out, and then I was just kind of hearing lukewarm things about it, so I didn't go check it out. But I still want to check that out. But let me see. I thought he was in The Walking Dead. I think I'm thinking of a different character, because it just says Fear the Walking Dead. Huh. I swear he was in The Walking Dead. Who am I thinking about then? I'm thinking about somebody. But regardless, I think he's a really good actor. And if they are replacing Kang, that could, I think a few weeks back I did speak about like them thinking about switching, pivoting villains. And I was thinking about how I said that like that would be something I would be interested in, because like, I don't know, Kang is just like running its course to me. It's just like they just been building up, in from what we've been seeing. Like I said, like Thanos was playing the background. We didn't see him for a while too, and he still was like a really compelling, or a really, big villain that was handled well, at least in Infinity War and Endgame. The kind of, I don't know. I feel like, yeah. Anyways, but it was like said that Kang was gonna be more present, and like we're gonna see more of him, and I would think that would be like really cool. If we see a villain that's more hands on with his shenanigans, and not really playing the background until the very end, and that would be a nice little switch up. But it's like the stuff we've seen Kang in is just like, okay, like he's cool, like, like I guess. like Kane could be cool, but it's like the stuff they did with him is like, okay. He got beat by ants. Great. Like the only thing he had going for it was like Jonathan Majors is like a good actor, but he's a scumbag. I guess. I don't want to say I guess, but that's, I wasn't really keeping up the case, to keep it a buck with you. Damn, that sounds like I'm like sympathizing, but I'm really not. Because like I don't even know what the fuck he was convicted on. Keep it a buck. I don't know. It's just that stuff. It's like, yeah, I feel like you should pay attention to. There's just more important things to pay attention to, type shit. You know. But what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah. That like the only thing you Kang really had going from. Oh yeah, it's Ant Man. It's like, yeah, he got beat by ants. Like, all right. Fucking Loki. He was good, but that like wasn't Kang. Like, it was just variations of him that were just fun to watch. And then it's like, yeah. Oh yeah, then we saw them screaming in a fucking stadium in Ant-Man 3. And then have a little, we saw like a feral one, a robotic one, and then like the regular King, I guess. And then I don't know. But they were like talking about pivoting into like maybe well, they didn't, I don't think it was like officially like Doctor Doom, but someone else, but it would be like probably Doctor Doom or the Beyonder or something like that. But with Coleman Domingo, I'm honestly like, if he comes back or if he is recasted as Kang, and then now it's like, because obviously we haven't seen everything yet in this phase, or in this, not phase, this multiverse saga. So if he like comes back right when Kang starts to ramp up and like be more hands-on with the universe, and like as we're getting into like Shang-Chi 2, or I don't know if Kang would be in there, but like Shang-Chi 2 and Kang Dynasty and whatnot, that would be really funny, because like we've gotten all like the lukewarm Kang appearances with Jonathan Majors, and then Coleman Domingo's about to come in, or anyone else about to come in and like take all the shine type shit. That's kind of I don't know, that's just kind of funny to me. But yeah, he's a really good actor, so it'd be really cool to see that. I'm interested would be interested to see who they, well, I would be interested to see who they else, well, fuck, I can't structure this sentence. Who else they're looking at for Kang? Jesus Christ. I don't know why that was so hard to get out. But yeah, I would be interested to see who else they're looking to replace Jonathan Majors with, if this is true. We just don't know really anything. They really haven't said any and nothing. Which, I mean, I'm saying like in terms of, there's a lot of, I mean, all of this stuff is speculation, but something that is concrete, though, which is honestly really disappointing because I really like this actor. Steven Yuen is confirmed he's dropped out of the Thunderbolts due to scheduling conflicts, and says he still wants to. Well, fuck, I don't know why I'm so tongue twisted today. And says he still wants to do a Marvel movie. It took a lot of drafts on email to make sure that he conveyed sincerity of how sorry I was to have back out. I have to back out. Well, that was, I guess it was from him. Sorry, that got bunched up in like the little headline. But he said it took a lot of drafts on email to make sure that I conveyed sincerity on how sorry I was to have to back out. So he was not officially like announced to be casted as what's it called? Sentry. That's who he was playing in the Thunderbolts. It was just really heavy rumors, and Robert, I think I talked about it. Robert Kirkman was doing an interview. He's the creator of Invincible and The Walking Dead, I believe. Is he creator of Walking Dead? But he's for sure the creator of Invincible, and he's really good friends with Steven Yeun because in the animated show he plays Mark Grayson, and so he revealed that he was was it? I was gonna say something. I'm gonna say something about the costume, but it was just maybe it was not necessarily something about the costume. Oh, it was that that he was like, is it weird that I'm playing like a yellow and blue superhero, or a superhero that has a yellow and blue costume in like 2 shows, or some shit like that, and it wasn't officially announced that he was Sentry, and that kind of like confirmed it from the heavy rumors. But what was funny about this news is because before this broke, like maybe a day or two before, like on Twitter and shit, some like rumors were coming out that Steven Yeun was seen trying on the Sentry costume, and that like apparently was the best like one of the best superhero costumes that we're like gonna see or whatever, or like have seen so far. And like a day later, he was like, okay, well, Steven Yeun is not playing Sentry anymore, so he's not gonna be wearing that costume. But I guess someone else would be wearing it. And I've seen some actually people say on Twitter, like I think it was either last week or the week before. There was another rumor that Marvel has reportedly been in talks with Jake Gyllenhaal coming in for something. Wait, was it Jake Gyllenhaal? No, it was Ryan Gosling. It was Ryan Gosling, I think, Fuck, was it him? I think it was. I don't know. I'm getting my white men confused. Um, Ryan Gosling, Marvel. Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think it was Ryan Gosling. Fuck it, whatever. But people are saying like, oh, could he be possibly playing, the Sentry? Now that Steven Yeun's like backed up, because maybe they knew about this. Like, obviously they would know about this before the news broke. So could that have been like something dealing with that? But yeah. So it was he. So Steven Yeun dropped out was because the strikes like pushed back, and it was I said like scheduling conflicts, and that was because of the strikes. But yeah, that's kind of disappointing because I really liked him as an actor. It would have been really well. Sentry's like usually a blonde white guy, so it'd be interesting to see their take on that. But I don't really know anything about the Sentry. I just know he has mental health issues, and that kind of like deals with his plays into his powers, I believe. No, I could be wrong about that, but he's like basically a Superman-esque character. Does he have lasers? He might have lasers. He could fly, super strong, shit like that. And that would have been really cool to. I mean, we're still gonna see the Sentry, but he's gonna really be cool to be seen on screen, and would have been in just like that. Plus, that it's gonna be would have been Steven Yeun. So it's gonna be interesting to see who they end up getting for the Sentry. But regardless, on the Thunderbolts, I don't. I'm interested to see how it plays out, but I wouldn't say I'm hyped for it. Any like not like I say, but James from Mr. Sunday's movies, he always says anything could be good, but I mean I kind of like adopted that mindset. Like anything really does have potential to be good. Like even if it's like not necessarily things that like that are involved. So I'm interested. But yeah, the Thunderbolts are like basically the Suicide Squad, I guess, of the Marvel universe. No, I think that's wrong. That's the wrong sentiment. Maybe just I don't really know a lot about them. But in this, it's just a bunch of anti-heroes on the team, so that's like the Suicide Squad, I guess. I don't know. Fuck it. That was a bad comparison, I guess. The next piece of news is something that is. I'm actually gonna make a video on this. It started out as like a Spider-Man 4 video, but then kind of spiraled into the whole thing. But Brad Winderbaum, I'm hoping that I'm saying that correctly, teases that Kingpin will be like the Thanos level. Well, hold on, Thanos of the street level MCU. Thank you. Fuck, I don't know why I said thank you, but like so as Echo Fudge, as Echo is gearing up to come out next week, the whole like cast and director and executive producer. I think Brad Winbaum, but I think he's also the Ooh, goddamn. Sorry, I didn't mute my computer. But I think he might be the head of the. I did have some news. He might be the head of what am I trying to say? Jesus Christ, of the Disney Plus like live action shows. I could be wrong about that though. Let me try to find that real quick. But as I'm talking about this though, this is really interesting because I think last week there were some rumors of Marvel adapting a more recent comic storyline called Devil's Reign, and I think that has Wilson Fisk as mayor, and he comes and he outlaws superheroes, and or is that the Thunderbolt? Is that the Thunderbolt storyline? I don't know. I haven't read Devil's Reign, so let me stop talking like I know what I'm let me stop sounding like I know what I'm talking about. The only thing I read of Devil's Reign was I mentioned it last week was Moon Knight. I was reading the most recent Moon Knight run, and like there's a brief instance where he's involved in Devil's Reign, and so there's like kind of a tie-in comic dealing with that. So like it briefly touches on what's going on. I don't know like everything, but yeah. But so there's just been heavy rumors about this just street level antics is building up, and fudge, was it Spider? I don't know if it was specifically Spider-Man 4. I think it was, but like it's been rumored to have like just be more street. Fuck. Let me try to find the news really quick, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Let me scroll. I'm scrolling up. Let's see. Sorry if I'm being annoying, but I'm just trying to pad it. In time, I could just cut this out. So let me just shut the fuck up. Fudge though. I really can't. I'm not seeing it. I'm just going too fast. Oh, it was Ryan Gosling. So there's that. Oh, Spider-Man 4 describes the street level civil war. There it was. That's a rumor. And that it was, I think, expanding on Plum, I think it was gonna have like rumors of Jessica Jones and whatnot. Basically, I just really want the next phase or the next saga of Marvel. This is how I'm making a video on this, but this is how I think it should have been structured. After Endgame, I feel like you could have I feel like you could have Far From Home after, because that's a nice, I feel like, epilogue, or like, you know, in an ideal world, I feel like it could have been more of an epilogue to like the Marvel. But then you're using a Spider-Man movie for that, and I feel like it should have been about it should be about Spider-Man. But it was a nice little epilogue with Tony and them mourning them and seeing the blip. How like people just popped up, return. You get that little scene of the in the gym of the kids just coming back or whatever. But they should have took a break after that. And then the next thing, instead of like, going bigger and bigger, like we just got done with the fucking Infinity Stones and Thanos not trying to wipe out the half the fucking universe. And instead of like going to this multiversal, you got fucking characters coming out the woo-wah and whatnot. And which, hold on, time out. I do like seeing that. But then it's just like we're just going bigger and bigger and bigger. About to have this multiversal war, and like fucking what's next? Are we gonna start going into like the different dimensions, like with Miss Marvel, like the clandestines, and you got Shang-Chi going through different dimensions and playing with that, and then we got the Fantastic Four where fucking the negative zone could be introduced, and you got fucking who's the villain in there, Annihilus or some shit like that. It's just, is that where it's like, are we going bigger and bigger and bigger? No, bro. Step the fuck back. Take a break. Let the dust settle after Endgame. Set the fuck. Goddamn. Now I'm tripping over my words. Step the fuck back, and then do street level stuff like this. Like bring Kingpin as the mayor. Fucking, and I guess the rumor is like he's gonna ban superheroing, and I guess we kind of get that with Civil War, but we didn't really see that. Like we seen a little bit of them trying to control, but it is kind of a retread of that. But I wouldn't mind seeing like more of a how that affects them. Like I feel like you only seen like how that affects the Avengers doing world trotting missions and shit. So like, let's see, or I guess, if this is true, we'll see how that affects the day-to-day street level guys. And I just think that's where everything should have went. Bring in Kingpin as the mayor, and then just have him like, run like Kingpin centric, more hands-on, him doing the dirty work and whatnot, or staying clean and having, and like, it's just like, in the ideal world, you would bring in Bullseye from the Daredevil season 3, and he was a really good villain. And then you would bring in, the Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, get the Defenders going, Heroes for Hire and whatnot. Like, in an ideal world, that's where this should be going, honestly, because, you don't have to go bigger and better to tell impactful stories and engaging and sprawling stories, Like, you can get that across with good writing and good, overall narrative with smaller scale things. So hopefully that's where Spider-Man 4 is leading. If Thanos is not Thanos, Kingpin is going to be the Thanos of the street level stuff. Another thing with their Echo. So there's been a debate that is Daredevil, the original Netflix series, canon to the MCU. And when that show was coming out, literally, hold on, let me take a sip of water. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there was a debate if the original Daredevil Netflix show and everything, is that canon to the MCU. When they were coming out, they were making really like kind of, would you say heavy? They were just making references to the Marvel universe, because when that was coming out, that was around like, when did Daredevil first came out? Because that was the first show. I wouldn't say it was around 2012, but they were like, it was set around the 2012 stuff. Like the Chitauri invasion. It says 2015. So that, yeah, I know it definitely didn't end in 2015. So I guess it started in 2015. But they would really they would reference like the Chitauri invasion, like a hammer falling a hammer falling down from the sky, referencing Thor, or they would say stuff like a big green guy, referencing the Hulk. And I guess that could be really anything. It's set in any universe. But they would make it. There would be other stuff. You got Misty Knight's arm, robot arm. Is that no, that's Rand Tech, so that still can be self-contained. But there would be, I can't really think of it, but there would be references to the MCU. So to me, it's always, I feel like it's loosely based in the MCU. Like obviously you would have to, it's just like I don't know. It wasn't really a big deal to me if it. I would definitely like it to be canon, but like I don't know. To me, it always was. There wasn't really no like no doubt about it type shit. I don't know. It was just I don't know. It's just a big deal on some it's canon now because Brad Winburn said it, and then also yeah, I think he's like the head of the streaming stuff. Let me see. And then some clips from the original show were used in the Echo trailer. That's I guess the long-winded way of that's basically what I've been trying to say. But that's cool. So back to some Spider-Man 4 stuff. A rumor by Daniel Richman. Marvel Studios is reportedly interested in having Drew Goddard direct Spider-Man 4. So he actually let me not be mistaken though. I want to say made the original Daredevil show. Let's see. Ooh, he writer of Cabin in the Woods. I really like that movie. That nigga 6'5". Damn, he got some height on him. Should be in the league. What the fuck? Over here fucking making movies. Sorry. Let me he had some The Martian, Lost. Martian was okay, yeah, so Daredevil. Executive producer. What does the executive producer do? Let's see. A producer handles on-site logistics management and supervision, while the executive producer deals more with offset issues like negotiating contracts, communicating with investors or studios, and maintaining the business face of the production. That's not to say that an executive producer has no creative impact. I guess okay. But yeah, it would be so. There's a rumor that they're looking for him to direct Spider-Man 4, and which is cool. So if and then also I saw something that he was also Sony wanted him to do the Sinister Six film when that was a thing. That was gonna be a thing. Maybe that's still what they're building to, but that was gonna be an earlier thing, like closer to the 2012 Amazing Spider-Man stuff. I think that's 2012. There's like a heavy tease in Amazing Spider-Man 2. But yeah, I feel like, and then the previous director, John Watts, I feel like he did an overall good job. One thing I will say, and that's a heavy criticism, and like writing aside if like, Iron Boy Jr. whatnot, and other problems, that it just lacks a lot of flair compared to like the Raimi movies. It's so like it's fucking Sam Raimi, so it's like so stylized, and it just has this like really great look to it, and just the scenes, the way they're shot, and the music, and it's just really it's really a unique vibe type shit, And even compared to the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I feel like those have a whether you like it or not, really have a really unique, distinct vibe to them too, compared to compared to the Raimi movies, for instance. And I feel like the MCU just lacks that or the MCU Spider-Man movies just lack that unique flair. And there's instances where it pops up, but like overall, it just has that. I wouldn't even say flat, but just it's a samey vibe now of like a typical Marvel movie, and which I don't have a problem with necessarily, but just like with Spider-Man, just getting those like sets of films from those like people who had really strong like creative vibes to them, it just kind of doesn't stack up in my opinion. But like I said, you do get those bursts and those flares of it, like the like stuff in Homecoming, with. And again, this is gonna be in my video, so go subscribe to my main channel. So check that out. You get like bursts of it in like the car scene with the Vulture in in Peter Parker, when you can see Michael Keaton's the Vulture's wheels turning as he's piecing together like Peter Parker Spider-Man, and as soon as he does it, the light turns green. Oh, that's honestly probably it's one of my favorite moments in the MCU, but it's honestly probably one of my favorite moments in those Spider-Man that Spider-Man trilogy. And then like you get at the end of that movie, Homecoming, when he's confronting the Vulture, and the Vulture's like, brings the building down on him, and he really has to lock in, bro, and get the fucking building off of him and go stop the Vulture. And even that end fight is really good too, where he's like, stop, like I'm trying to help you, and the Vulture, and the Vulture in that scene where, oh my god, that's what I'm saying. There is those that burst of flair, but I feel like Homecoming, and I feel like a later problem, because I feel like honestly, Homecoming, it's my favorite Spider-Man movie, live action. But oh my goodness, I gotta watch Homecoming again. But like that whole scene where Peter brings down the plane, and then he loses his, like, he's he loses his hearing for a moment, and like the Vulture's like coming through the smoke, and really the that fucking, the Vulture's so menacing, and then like Peter's trying to save him and whatnot. But that's why I think Homecoming is so good, though, because it's just dealing with street level shit. Yeah, it's like the bigger stuff, like he's after Tony Stark's arc reactors that have fucking unlimited power, but for the most part, it's like, you get Spider-Man, and I guess it's a fucking Homecoming tangent, I don't care. You get Spider-Man doing like day-to-day, like lower stakes things that are still like impactful. You really get to see more of his community and like building those characters. It would be really cool if we stuck with that and really seeing that grow. But what was my point? And I turned it, and then also in Far From Home, you get the scene where the Mysterio's playing tricks with him, and then like it ends with him getting hit by a train, and then that's like super like distinct and stylized. And then also at the end of the movie where he has to lock in and really tap in with his spider sense to like get through the illusions or whatnot, that's really good. And then in fucking No Way Home, you get the apartment scene, and then oh my gosh, him, I don't even got to talk about that because that's more recent, but like, bro, you know what I mean. And then you get the stuff with like after Aunt May dies, and him that shot with Jay Jonah, and how that looks, that just looks really cool. Point being, they do have their sauce, but it's just so overall, it's just kind of flat type shit, And so, it would be cool to see someone else take a crack at it. And then, Drew Goddard, he has a hand in. I saw this point on Twitter. This is not my point. Sorry. He has a hand in Daredevil stuff, street level shenanigans. And then that's a very stylized piece of like a project. It really feels, and then it set the tone for that universe going forward, but it's very distinct from the regular MCU stuff. And then Sony wanted him for the Sinister Six because he kind of has a hand in the Sony verse, not Sony verse, but he has ties to Sony, and they wanted him to work on their stuff. And that's where as they have Sony has a partnership with Marvel or Disney, I guess, to use Spider-Man and whatnot. I feel like would be a really cool pick, or a really interesting pick, as what I would say. But yeah. So I would really want him. I want to see those movies, the Spider-Man movies, go in a different directions that we, quote unquote, like as to be seen, go into this street level phase. And then some more stuff with the Daredevil Born Again. Some more stuff that I talk about. I don't know if I talk about. I've been talking about Echo. I guess so. The main villain of there, reportedly by Daniel Richmond, Muse will be the main villain. I don't know who Muse is at all. How long am I going? 40 minutes. I'm not really pressed for time. I've been trying to find news that like I actually, there were some other pieces of news I cut out, not that I already recorded, but while I was making my show notes that I cut out, because I don't know, my friend made a good point. He was listening to the podcast, and he just like noticed, and I noticed this as well. There'd be a lot of topics, and there's quite a few topics on this, but are pieces of news, but I'll spend like maybe a minute to 2 minutes on it and move on. And it's just, I don't know, I'm trying to like really trim the fat. And I think I've been doing good so far, because I've been having a lot to say about the pieces of news. But yeah, so Muse would reportedly be the main villain of Daredevil Born Again. I don't know who Muse is at all. So let's and I wanted to wait to look something up until I got to the podcast. So let's see who Muse is. I was about to read a quote from him. That would have been I don't know. So Muse was a mysterious, deranged artist whose gruesome work of art was discovered after he anonymously I can't say that word right now. Skip it. I know how to say it. I promise. Sent the vigilante blind spot the address of the warehouse in Washington Heights where he had planted it. This work consisted of a mural painted with blood from over 100 different missing people. Some weeks later, he defaced the mural and replaced most of it with the phrase "You're only as good as your whatever." Okay. Well, let's see what his powers are inside of the floors. Music blah blah blah. 88. Matt Murdock, who's one of the people that discovers Muse's second artwork since Muse's presence in the distance. Witnessing as people unveiled his new work for the first time and left the scene to change into his Daredevil suit and confront the villain. However, Muse drove him off using a dummy grenade and made his escape. All right, what the fuck is this man's powers? During his first public appearance, Muse courtroom, Daredevil caught up with Muse once he had been cuffed, filled with rage. All right. Attributes, powers, I've never seen this word. Imperceptibility. Muse's body acts like a vortex which can pull in every bit of sensory information around him, making even Daredevil's enhanced senses hard to target him. All right, so he has enhanced senses. That's cool. Superhuman strength. Muse possesses a certain degree of superhuman strength, being able to effortlessly tear apart human bodies. Okay. Superhuman speed. Muse appears to move faster than the human eye can see. Abilities. Expert combatant. Muse appears to be extremely agile and efficient in combatant, being able to defeat a gang of 6 armed people lightning fast. All right, cool. I guess he's interested. I'm interested to see him. His design looks pretty interesting as well. I really hope they bring in Bullseye. The way his storyline was set up and executed in Daredevil season 3, which I'll get into as we talk about all the Marvel TV shows. For the main topic, he was just so fire, man. And then I don't know who his actor was, but his actor, he really did his Dougie, because and then by the end of it, he gets like the enhancement, or no, not an enhancement. Is it an enhancement or is it just getting his spine? I think it's an enhancement because I think his eyes change, or it's just a reflection in his eyes. It just makes the bullseye symbol. It could have been a light just reflecting in his eyes, and they just made it the bullseye symbol or whatever. But yeah, so he's up and at him. He can come back, and so I really hope this show gets. I think they were talked about they want to keep the show going and stuff. But I really hope he comes back because especially if the stuff is canon now, why not? There's really no reason. He had really compelling story, and I really like the way it developed. So yeah, but I'm cool to see. I'm down to see Muse and how he plays out, and I feel like they know what they're doing with Daredevil. So I hope it all goes accordingly. Let me turn my fucking phone on fucking do not disturb because people are blowing me up. Fucking group chat. The next piece of news. A What If Spider-Man episode got scrapped in season 1 due to the story being very, very dark. What if showrunner AC Bradley says she called the story title "Children of Men" with Spider-Man. I think that's a dystopian, fucked up world. Let me see. It's been on my list for a while of movies to watch. Let me read this. Oh wow, I got some good actors in here. What is the synopsis on this? In the dystopian world of 2027, London, humans have been incapable of reproducing for 18 years for an unknown reason, meaning the imminent extinction of the species. Britain is one of the remaining civilized societies on the planet, which has resulted in people wanting to migrate there. So has become a police state to handle immigrants who are placed into refugee camps. Lowly government. Okay, yeah. So damn, that's fucked up. So what if something would have been with, I don't know. My mind goes to I don't know, a spider virus or something like that. Because didn't that happen in the comics one time or something where a bunch of people got infected with I don't know how it happened or if this is even in the comics. But something like that happened, which is interesting. I don't know. I feel like the what if premises are super lacking, and I think I talked about this already. But the one I really liked, I need to finish. I need to. I'm gonna give them all their fair shake, but I skipped to the Hella one, like what if like Hella versus the Mandarin or whatever, and that was a really really good episode. It has a strong premise, and the voice acting is really good, and the story is really decent. Like I really liked it, enjoyed that episode. But then like really like just turned me off from that show, bro. Was even though I mentioned earlier that I liked Justin Hammer in it, was the Happy Safe Christmas episode. I was just like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like, I was honestly mad by the end of it, and I honestly was, I just was mad that I wasted my time just watching that shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So I really like turned me off from it, and then I seen someone post like a screenshot from the Hella episode, like from the end of it. If you know how that episode goes, then you know like how she looks and shit and what happens. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And it reminded me that was episode. And I was looking forward to that episode before the season came out. But like I said though, anything could be good, and that's why I was like, no, I'm gonna give Happy Saves Christmas its shake, and I was not vibing with that at all. So yeah, that would have been a nice what if premises C. And there just also been really characters lacking. Like we've not seen, and then there's a reason for this as well. What if has been been written way back, and because I was gonna say Sam Wilson, Captain America, has been lacking in that, and I was just like, where the fuck is he? We've been getting all Peggy Carter and whatnot, and not that he has to be in it, but it's just like his presence in general has been lacking. It's just like, why haven't they done anything with that? And it's because it was written like way before, like even before like Shang-Chi or during Shang-Chi and shit when that was going on back in I think like 2021 or some shit. And I that's for like season one. I don't know when. I know so if season one was being written that far soon, like season two probably wasn't gonna be that far after it. But Falcon, and I mean, I don't really fucking care about Falcon as a character before he got the shield. I mean, he was like fine, but it's like whatever. I feel like not to pin him against each other, but fucking Don Cheadle, War Machine's way more interesting. Is the more interesting black token hero that they have in the universe. Yeah, but Falcon is not like at all. It's anywhere in what if, even if and which is weird. I think he's like a zombie though in those zombie what if episode. But yeah, I wish the premise is like why this Spider-Man episode gets scrapped, and he's not really in what if either. It's like, is that like a Sony thing? But they did have him in. There's probably like way more restriction what they could do with Spider-Man in what if and whatnot because they don't own that character technically. And yeah. But yeah, I just wish the premises were a little bit more interesting. So the next piece of news though, Jake Johnson, he plays Peter B. Parker in the Spider-Verse movies. I think he was like asked a question about this is from comic. Oh, and that what if? Sorry. I've been trying to cite my sources. That what if news was from IGN. Let me click on the link. Is there the article? Yeah. So it's an exclusive sit down with one of the key minds in what if. But that was from IGN. But this is from comic book. I think this is exclusive as well from them. Sorry, comicbookmovies.com. Comicbook.com. Peter B. Parker live action exclusive. Yeah, so he was asked a question about bringing Peter B. Parker to live action, and this is what he had to say. I just liked he knows ball with this answer. He said if Phil Lord or Chris texted and said, those are the guys who made the Spider-Verse movies. He said if they texted and said, we think this is a really cool and we would like you to be a part of it, then I'm in. If it's Sony that says they if it's Sony says that they have got a really fun idea and it's a new director who's at a great studio rate, I feel less excited about that. And then he went on to say, I was reading the article, he said some really good things. He was like, and it's like, like not to say like he's that, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a slight on him, but it's like duh. But he was like, there's some projects are just like made to make money and like, basically they don't have any passion behind them. And then like, there's the projects that are purely made to make money, and there's a projects that are obviously like being made to make money, but it has creatives, people who are really passionate about the product and not really going to treat it with a lot of care, and then that's um what he would be drawn. Would be drawn to. But let me skim the article because I feel like there's some. Whoa, what the fuck is this? Is it not that long? Oh, I feel like there's something else he said in there that I liked. Let me see. Oh, and I liked. Oh, he was saying like he was really attached to the character and like how he expresses him like he expresses that he wants it to be handled with care and whatnot, and that's just cool to see. Like outside of the people like writing, creating, even the voice actors are want to make sure that the character is getting the deserving story that they what am I trying to say? Deserving story. I don't know what the fuck where that was going, but I don't know. That's just cool to see. Let me see. Oh, and then another thing with Jake Johnson, he said that he has not recorded any of his lines for Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is not the biggest deal when it comes to animation because that could be done a lot quicker. I think he went on to say in this is from Cinema Blend. He has like a new show. Sorry, he's I guess going on a press run. It's called what is it called? Self-Reliance. It's on Hulu. I'll not check it out, but I'll check it out to see if it's something I want to check out, But he said that he hasn't recorded any lines, but he goes to say that it would be a bigger deal if news got out that the animators haven't started working on it. And then originally this Beyond the Spider-Verse was scheduled for a 2024 March release date, and it took quite a long time to animate the second movie, and that had a lot of crunch, which that's no way, Jose. Like we don't fuck with that at all. So that was really disappointing to hear about the Spider-Verse movies and how Phil Lord and Chris, it just says Chris. I think Chris Miller or something like that. But that was really disappointing to find out how they handled that situation and handled their work environment and whatnot, and everything that went into that. So I really don't want there to be any. I mean, fucking doesn't matter what the fuck I say, but any rush at all to get this out. Like, take your time, and it's probably a studio like a investor thing deadline. Like, you got to hit this deadline, da da da. And I get that to an extent, but I feel like. I mean, obviously, from the outside looking in, it's like this is a surefire gonna make money, so just let them cook. But money's on the line, gotta get their return on their investment, shit like that. Like, I mean, I guess I get it, but it's just like I don't know, like why does money come at the cost of people's work experience and stuff? I don't know if that was just a yapping sentence, but it sounded good. But it's just like, bro, can we just okay, damn, we're not gonna hit this. We had this deadline, just let us cook. But if there's obviously, I feel like, and then there's the business side of it. Like, are you mismanaging your assets and time and efforts? Like, are you not properly planning? And I think that was a thing that went into it because the creators would switch shit on the fly, and that's kind of, and that could be done with a live action movie when it's still a hassle or probably an effort to get everything back together, but you can reshoot shit, But with animation, you got fucking if you switch something last minute, you gotta reanimate all that shit, which took an insane amount of time doing the first draft of the shit. So it's you gotta have you should have a solid plan regardless, but a really concrete plan when it comes to animation, because it takes a lot more time type shit. So, yeah, we just really we haven't gotten really any update. I guess this is the biggest update we've got on Beyond the Spider-Verse. But I'm not really stressed about when it comes out. I know there's gonna be a banger when they drop it. I know they're cooking something real crazy. So honestly, I'm not stressed about it at all. And I feel like everyone should not be stressed. I don't know if people. I feel like since the news came out about the crunch and stuff, people are a lot more because people. I probably fall and probably do this as well. And which if I do catch myself do it, I'll definitely try to correct it. But really wanting something to come out and bro, hurry up like that. I think probably did that with Invincible, but I was more so in the camp of delay it and make sure the shit's all ready and then drop it all, like, unless I don't, I just know I was like really, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I just really wanted Invincible season 2 to come out. So if I was like hurry up, then that's the wrong shit to say. You definitely should just let them cook, but I'm more of like, I don't even know where that original point was going, but anyways, moral of the story is those boys cooking, just let them cook. Yeah, but that's it for the Marvel news. Damn, I've been going for 56 minutes. We got quite a bit to get through. That's it for the Marvel news, but some DC updates for Superman Legacy from James Gunn. This is probably on Threads. Like, there was no link to this. But I think this was from like Discussing Films posted this. I could be wrong about that. Sorry. But Superman Legacy production is beginning, and James Gunn says it's going swimmingly. Sets being built, costumes being finished, actors studying roles, prosthetics and VFX models being made, flights being booked. Here we go. Great to hear, just, I don't know. All that just sounds fucking great. Sets being built, some fucking practical, tangible shit, costumes being finished. I love, all the costume in James Gunn movies. I just watched rewatched the Suicide Squad. I'll talk about that a little later in my weekly watch list. But all the costumes in that are fucking, try to, go comic book accuracy, and they look really cool, very vibrant, not very afraid to look goofy type shit. So his costumes are really great. So I'm really excited to see the costumes in Superman Legacy, especially, and obviously this isn't the point, it's focused on Superman. I'm really excited to see Superman's costume, but since we're getting a look at a lot of DC characters that will be probably most likely returning, it's cool to gonna see what Guy Gardner, Guy Gardner Green Lantern's costume is gonna look like, Mr. Terrific, how that's gonna look. Who else was mentioned? Metamorpho, is that the, I'm not really too sure on the character, but I really like the actor for him. Hawk Girl. Yeah, so it's like, I'm really, especially Hawk, not especially, but I'm really interested to see how Hawk Girl looked, because Hawkman in Black Adam, his, like, say what you will about that movie, but I really like the costumes in that. His design was really, really good, and I really liked how they handled that and his weapons and whatnot. So it's gonna be interesting to see how James Gunn does Hawk Girl. What else? Oh yeah. Also James Gunn, he said says he hasn't talked to Margot Robbie about Harley Quinn for a long time. But he would love to see her back in as Harley or someone else. But then he said there were no plans at this time for anyone else to play Harley in the DCU. And I think not more recently, Margot Robbie said in general she would like, I think she was act like, do you, some about like coming back to play Harley Quinn, but she was like, I wanted Harley Quinn to be like a role that, is passed down to people, and it's like, other people can enjoy it. And it's not like, some like Robert, and I'm sure this will get recast, but like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, like for like a while, that's him, until we see something later down the line, which I'm pretty sure we'll see, but that's him, what's it called? People like Chris Hemsworth is Thor, stuff like that. And yeah, so I really like her. Speaking on like the Suicide Squad, watching that not earlier, but anyways, I really like her as Harley. Like, she is like perfect to me. And back to Joker too. I really hope it's not a musical, but I'm interested to see how Lady Gaga plays Harley and how that develops. And it's probably gonna be a really early version. Like, we're not gonna see this like fully developed version like it is with Margot Robbie, but it's gonna be interesting to see that. But I don't know, she just really has the voice, she has the mannerism, she has like that energy. Like, she is Harley type shit, at least to me. And I'm not saying like someone can't come in, but she's still young. Like, she can play Harley for a little bit. It's like I feel like there shouldn't be any rush to recast Harley. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I'm not in the minority in that, but I've seen some people say that they want a different Harley, but I don't know. I think she's really good, and there's no reason. Let's see. Oh, some updates on, I guess a little update on Batman, the Caped Crusader. This is an animated Batman show. I wouldn't well, this piece of news is describing it very different than the Batman animated series, which is including a more visual violence and noir like tone. And I think that's like the biggest thing, that like this is gonna be like, I don't want to say like rated R, but it's gonna be a lot more, because Batman the animated series is very. I didn't watch it all the way through, but it was a little bit before my time. But I caught episodes here and there, and like you've seen some episodes growing up. I really want to go back and just rewatch it all the way through. Like who hasn't seen, like, the Joker and stuff from that and whatnot. I think I had a couple toys from that show. I think I had the Joker, and I had Batman, and I might have had Robin. I know I had a 2003 Teen Titans Robin. Anyways, but yeah, this has been kind of in limbo for a while, and has a some really big names attached to it. I know Matt Reeves, who worked on the Batman, is attached to it. Let me see some other names. Would have been the icing. What would have been the icing on the cake if not Adam. Excuse me. What is his name? Jesus, fuck. He's the original Batman like voice actor. Kevin Conroy. There we go. Sorry, I was blanking on his name. Rest in peace. But he's. I love his Batman so much. Let's see. Who's involved in this? So it's been in limbo for, I guess, while I'm looking for this information, it's been in limbo for a little bit. It was shelved by David Zaslav, I think, and Warner Bros., which whatever. Like, why would you not think that this was going to be a hit? And so it was kind of like, damn, is this not going to be made? But then it was shopped around, and I think Amazon Prime picked it up, or Prime Video. Yeah, they did pick it up. So it has, Amazon Prime picked it up for at least 2 seasons. So this is from comicbookmovie.com. Fuck, I don't know how official this is. Ed Brubaker. I feel like his name is attached to a lot of good things, but I know Matt Reeves is involved. Oh, is JJ Abrams involved too? Wow. So this has some just really good names involved, and they're going inspired from the Batman animated series. It's just like it has a lot of good things in the pot, and so I really think that recipe's gonna cook up something great. And so I've really been keeping my eye out on this show. So I'm really interested to see how this develops, and like, hurry, cook. Wait. I just said it, bro. Let them cook. But I'm super excited for them to see more than that. We've been going for a little bit, and we got to get to the main topic, and we still got some gaming news. So I'm kind of about to speed run this kind of news a little bit. And so that's why I was like, been trying to trim the fat down, because but it's like with I got to do better. I said I'm doing better with trimming out like the 2-minute stuff, but if there's stuff I want to talk about, then I'm gonna talk about it, But this might be a little, I guess. Fuck it. Shut up. Cartoon Network Studios and Warner Bros. Animation President Sam Register is against AI, as animation studio is important. We protect, this is his words, as animation studio is important. We protect the artists and the art form for as long as we can. We should give jobs to people who really do that, and so they could get their entry level experience. And this is an article from the LA Times, and it's a really interesting article. I would recommend checking it out if we're interested in like the Hollywood strikes, and how that affects stuff going forward, and the discussion about AI and whatnot. It's a pretty long article. It's not too long, but I'm just kind of he said that, which was really great, and that's, I guess, a dub for Warner Bros. Which they've been just doing some scummy shit. I mean, they're all fucking big companies, but you have people. I don't know these fucking people at all. So, but I feel like within the scummy, cog, wheel machine, you get people who like, genuinely care about, protecting artists and pushing out creative, stuff, and not just trying to, make money. Obviously the goal is to make money, but you could have some creativity behind it, But yeah, so in the article, Sam Register, again, don't really know who he is. I mean, he's the Cartoon Studios and Warner Bros. Animation president. I hear some bad things about that? I don't know. He said it's just overall, there's a lot of people in the speaking in the article, but they're just saying, it was just a good article. They're just talking about, the effects about the strikes and stuff, and how that that's what I'm trying to say is, sorry, I'm just trying to like go over the article in my mind. Um, a lot of AI stuff, it's taking away jobs from the entry level stuff. Like I think he was like saying like something. Someone was saying something about throwing, scripts, or AI is not good enough to write like full blown scripts yet. It's just not. It's not good. Like it's a dog shit story, So, but it's good for like throwing in an already finished script and kind of like getting some notes or whatever on it, right? And that is a time saver thing, but that also takes away the jobs from like, I guess something in the article was saying that type of job, just going through the script or something already finished script would go to like an up and coming, like someone, trying to, like what this says, getting their entry level experience, and that's good practice for them or whatever the case, and that's like further develops their talent to go forward. But if you have like AI and stuff, taking that away, you're missing, a lot of people are missing that entry level stuff, and that's making, I'm not like fully invested in like the industry in this industry, but it leads to more problems like going forward. And me personally, I feel like definitely AI is a tool, um, but it shouldn't, do stuff like this. Like, and that's why it really needs to be some like regulation on AI and like how this is implemented and it's honestly in general, but like especially in creative workforces, because you have a lot more like, I feel like, nuance with that, because I don't know, that was like, not people not getting their work level entry level experience is not something I would have, again, I'm not in the industry, of course I wouldn't have thought of this, but that's not a problem I would have thought of. That would be like, I would just be like, oh, that's time saving. But I guess if I knew the industry, and I guess that I would knew that was a job for that, then I would be yeah, I guess that didn't make sense. But there just needs to be regulation and stuff, and I feel like it's just a really good point with this entry level stuff, and even like other stuff as well. And just, you really gotta. Oh, and another good point in the article was as well, like a lot of people were saying like they don't, like, yeah, AI like is cool and shit, but they don't want to work with fucking a computer, a program. They want to work with people. Like that's where a lot of this stuff is like, you're just bouncing stuff off other people. Like, why, it's like, why would you want to, like, I feel like there's just something beautiful just like about people creating something, and I feel like a lot of that is not even, I feel like a lot of that is taken away when you introduce AI in the mix and whatnot. And yeah, I feel like it takes the whole point of the out of the creativity. I said I was gonna speed run on that, but shit, that was the longest one. So on to some casting news. Jack Black is reportedly playing Steve in the live action Minecraft movie via Deadline. This is I was not interested in this movie at all. Even like I like Jason Momoa. He was like a rumored to be attached to it as well in an undisclosed role or character. Um, but this piece of news is honestly just so hilarious to me. Like Jack Black in a Minecraft movie, and he's playing Steve, like the fucking voiceless, like, I don't know. I'm not, does he? I know there's like Minecraft like spin-off stuff like in dungeons and whatnot. Is he in there like talking and stuff? I don't know, but this piece of casting news. I like Minecraft a lot. It's a very relaxing game. I've been not been recently, but I was been my little brother's into it. We played Minecraft. We have our own world, and it's a really just fun game to hop on, and just relax. But yeah, I was not interested in this movie at all. But this piece of information made me interested in this movie. So if the trailer is looking at least interesting, this might be something I might review on here. But on to some Spawn news, which I was talking about in the intro. Todd McFarlane said he's gonna make the Spawn movie himself with outside investors, and I don't know why I said that weird, investors, if Blumhouse doesn't make it in 2024. Like I mentioned in the intro, this Spawn movie has been in development, or it just been talked about since like 2017. And Spawn, bro, he's just such a cool character. His design is fucking badass. What he could do is badass. He has like this symbiote type Venom suit and shit. I don't think it talks to him, but like, it's like it like can hold a whole fucking arsenal of guns and rocket launchers and grenades and shit, and his cape can morph and change into shit. I know, like, and there was a old movie which this it's pretty bad, but I don't know. As a kid growing up, like that shit was cool to see and just see some. And he doesn't. Does he like pull out guns from his body and shit? And I don't know. But like that type of his chains and shit, like that was cool to see as a kid. And the comic side of things, like I've oh hold on, time out. There's this cool, really good Spawn animation that I think was appearing on HBO. Could be wrong about where that was appearing, but it's like a I would say like Batman animated series vibes, kind of like brooding dark type shit, but it's like violent and it's actually like, MA type. So you're seeing like blood and stuff, and it's a really good. I didn't finish it. I need to finish that. It was on you. All of the episodes were on YouTube. I don't know if they're still there. I was about to check, but I honestly don't feel like it. But yeah, I would go try to track that down and check that out. But it's like I don't know when it came out, early 2000s maybe. But I honestly, that's a good one right there. But I just been really interested. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The comics though, like Spawn, he gets up to some shit in the comics. He be like fighting God and the devil and fucking super archangels and shit like that. It gets wild. I need to read some more Spawn stuff, but yeah. So this has been in talks since 2017, and ever since I caught wind of it, I've been super interested. Jamie Foxx was I think in talks to play. What is I don't even know the main guy's name to keep it a buck with you. He was in talks to play Spawn and like the man under the mask type shit. Which had been really cool. Who paid was it Keith David? No, no, no. Was it no, it was Michael J. White, I think. Is that his name? Who played Spawn in the old movie. He was I think he was in talks as well to come back, but I think he kind of just aged out. I don't think he looks that old. I think Michael J. White, my fault. He still looks good. I feel like he could definitely come back, but I fuck with Jamie too, Jamie Foxx, and that would have been interesting to see him do that. So I hope he's still in talks with this. And it's just so basically it's just been in limbo for a while. And it's attached to Blumhouse, which I think make a lot of horror stuff. And Jason Blum, I think was in talks to direct. But Todd McFarlane, he just says like, bro, if they keep dicking around, and the pandemic and stuff pushed it back, and then and obviously the writer strikes and actor strikes pushed it back, so it's just been in limbo because of outside sources and stuff. I'm sure they want to make it, but shit. I don't know what's going on over there, but Todd McFarlane basically says in the article, bro, he's like, bro, if they keep dicking around, I know myself. Like, I'm gonna get this shit done type shit. You feel me? And so he's like, I already got some people who are more than interested in like investing in this movie, but he's just basically saying like, but I would like to go through and go through the Hollywood system and like do that officially and get the backing of the Hollywood system, promotion and shit like that, and press junkets, and I'm assuming is what he's meaning, because independently it's probably a lot harder to get into that some of that type of stuff. And so but there has been, especially he says in the article, there has been last year been, and it's not just last year, but success in independent projects that don't go through the Hollywood like standard route, like the Taylor Swift movie. I think originally they tried to like go through something, and like they just weren't getting a good deal, and like they wanted like too much of the cut, and she just, I think her team ended up putting it out themselves, and they made a bunch of money, and they got like all that money back since it was in a in-house thing. So there was something called like, I think the Sound of Freedom. I think the people involved with that were like super MAGA or some shit. I could be wrong about that. So sorry if I put that on them if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure. What's it called? So yeah, but that, I think that movie was like considered a success for whatever their budget was or whatever. So it could be done. But I just really hope this gets made, and I hope it's good. Like I said, Spawn's super cool. That last movie is just like, it was cool for the time. Maybe if you were a little older, maybe it was like trash right off the gate, but I was super young when I saw it, so it was definitely cool to me. And I feel like there's some probably redeeming stuff in it. I could be wrong. I haven't seen that movie in a while. But I usually find redeeming qualities in all the comic book stuff, or like and stuff I like in general. Like it's very rare where I don't find something to like, even in stuff that is dog shit. Considering to me. What was I saying though? Yeah, I just want it to be good. especially with Spawn, So just to see this going forward, especially, and I know it's gonna probably be rated R, and I would definitely, if it is a success, we could see more rated R projects, comic book projects and stuff, and people aren't scared to do that. And especially if rated R comic book projects continue to be a success, they could get bigger budgets because it is a more risky venture to invest in rated R movies, because as your target audience is a lot smaller, because you're excluding kids and people who just like aren't into like gore and people, not everyone likes vulgar language and shit like that. So your target audience is a lot smaller, so the budgets for rated R movies are a lot smaller. But like I was just said, if they continue to be a continued success, because we've gotten like success in the Deadpool movies, Logan, Joker, what are some, I don't know, some other rated R comic book movies, they can, the investors can be willing to take bigger risk on them and boost up those budgets. And so yeah, I just really hope that this movie gets made and it is done well and it is received well, because reasons I just said. Gerard Butler will reprise his role as Hiccup's father for the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie. Look, I don't really like How to Train, or I like How to Train Your Dragon. I don't really like live action remakes. I feel like why? It's especially, I guess it would only be an animation, but it's an animation for a reason. Like, you're getting a lot of visual style and a visual flair in animation, and like stuff can be done in animation that can't be done in live action. And so it's like you're losing a lot of stuff when you switch to that. And also, like with remakes, I feel like if you're not really doing anything new, like what's the point? Especially if like the animation is superior, like what is the point of this? So I really not really big on live action remakes, but I am, well, I loved How to Train Your Dragon when I was coming up, like at least the first like three movies what I was tapped into. I think I kind of just grew out of them, but I like them a lot. I feel like if I revisit them, I would still enjoy them. The story's pretty solid as like two, so that's probably why I would still enjoy them. And I just like the different type of dragons and shit. Like fuck, that just speaks to like that that kid side of my brain. Like fucking dragons, cool, and they could do different shit. Like you got Toothless is cool as hell. Like he's fast as fuck and his fire's cool. And you got like the different type of like that fucking giant dragon and he's like, just like I just said, different types. I was trying to remember them, but I just remember the fat one. I was trying to remember what he was good for, but I don't. Oh, can he like spit out smoke and then like it ignites, or was that a different dragon? I don't know. Like there was one with spiked tails and shit. It's just cool seeing that type of stuff. But I mean, I like the animation for How to Train Your Dragon movies. But I don't think it's like spectacular. Like and fuck, this isn't a slight to the animators at all. Like the people who created the art style. Like props to them. It looks good. It looks good. But it's like I feel like it just doesn't blow me away with like something like innovative like Spider-Verse or Mutant Mayhem or one of like the Boy and the Heron, like one of those like movies like that. I feel like really if those were to be like remade into live action, like you would lose a lot of flair and style. And I feel like in this case with How to Train Your Dragon, you wouldn't be losing a lot of flair and style going to live action. And then on top of that, seeing like those different dragons that I was talking about like in live action would be cool to see. So I feel like this is at least for me, a rare case where because I didn't know this was a thing. A rare case where going to live action would be actually beneficial type shit. And I could be wrong about that. But I feel like there's just something to be seen with, these type of dragons in live action. So, and then on top of that, the story is good. So I'm on board with this, honestly. Keep an eye out for this. And then Gerard Butler, he's a really good actor. I didn't even know he played Hiccup's father. Ooh, hold on. I feel like someone I like plays Hiccup, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Jay Baruchel. I really like him as a actor. He plays Kit Harington's in this. This is the second movie. I don't know if he's in the first. Oh, Kate Blanchett. Oh, damn, they got some heavy hitters. fuck, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Digimon Hansu. He plays he's really good in everything. Honestly, I see him in. He's in Guardians Galaxy. He's in other more notable stuff, but that was just some nerd shit that popped in my head that he's in. What's it called? So this cast, honestly, this is the second movie. I don't know if I know. Obviously, Hiccup and his dad are in the first movie, but America Fira, like basically what I'm trying to say is this live action or this cast could be easily maybe not Hiccup. I feel like you would have to get someone younger for Hiccup, but that's kind of disappointing. Jay Baruchel, he's just really good. I really like him a lot. But you would have to get some younger for him, and probably the same with who plays his love interest Astrid. But most of this cast, I feel like, could be translated to live action pretty well, and these are good actors. So hopefully that continues to be a trend in the developing news of this. With Gerard Butler coming back as Hiccup's father. Some fucking sad news, brother. Some sad news. Best Buy has begun removing all physical media and displays. So I've been talking about this for a minute. We gotta get to the main topic. We've been going for hour 22. Damn, I feel like this was a good news week. Damn, I've been yapping. Let me take a swig of water because I've been yapping. But yeah, I've been, preaching, bro. I love physical media. It's important to have physical media because, they could take anything they want off these streaming services. Even if there was some PlayStation stuff with Discovery. Even if you buy stuff, they could take away the licensing, so you no longer can own it or play it anymore. With digital, so it's just like, brother, and the same thing could be done with, well, more so with games, but the same thing could be done with I just said games. Like if you buy something on the internet store or whatever, and then they stop selling it, and you could still be able to play it, but if they pull the licensing, you won't be able to. Oh fuck, I'm hella dumb. That's not what I meant. With games with disc, that could be the same thing, because even if you own the physical disc, they could pull whatever, like I just said, the licensing, and so it's not gonna play on your PlayStation anymore, if I'm not mistaken, right? I could be wrong about that. Damn, maybe I was zapping about something I don't know about, but I'm pretty sure. But with movies and shit, you gotta get that physical, especially with if you are into music as well. I feel like you should try to buy your music physical, especially it's bro, I wouldn't. It hasn't happened a whole lot, but there's been some songs that I thought were bangers that work on Spotify, and that would just be pulled, bro. It's damn, bro. Can't really. Maybe I could get it somewhere else. I just haven't honestly searched, to be honest. For music, I really it's gotta be in my face. I really don't search for a whole lot of music a lot. Keep it a buck with you. And maybe I should definitely change that. But it's it's just been this kind of constant trends of people or companies not seeing the value in having physical, and it's probably it's not even probably a money thing, production and shit. You gotta get them DVDs made, you gotta do all that, ship it, everything. They probably it's a declining investment, especially with everyone switching to digital and shit, which is unfortunate. I feel if you like something, go get it on the physical. And also with the streaming stuff, you could watch it on streaming, and then you could get it on physical, and that further boosts that thing that you like. And if that just helps it, either get greenlit for a new season or whatever the case. A lot of movies used to live or die on movie sales. If something didn't do good in the theaters, it had a second win with DVD sales, because just word of mouth and whatnot really boost that, and everyone went out to go buy the DVD because it wasn't available unlimitedly on streaming. So you got to go buy it on the DVD, or you got to rent it, or whatever the case. And so and then most stuff got their second win and got revived, and sequels were greenlit because of DVDs and shit. And so that was it's just a lost, that's a lost, I was gonna say art form, but that's just a lost practice, I guess. I don't know. It's just really disappointing, to be honest. And it genuinely makes me sad. I just literally, my whole mood changed. It sucks to see. I really even now, I could still, buy stuff, go to the store, GameStop, and buy shit. for game wise. I'm just thinking of like the PS2, PS3 era, just like, and I know there was like a store on the PS3, but I was still buying a lot of physical stuff back then. Just that just wasn't the norm for me at the time to buy a bunch of stuff like on the PlayStation Store and whatnot. Uh, Most because I didn't have Wi-Fi for like a while, not like a super while, but it wasn't super common to have Wi-Fi back then. Um, but what I was just saying, oh, just like buying physical games for my PS2 or PS3 and just having hella games and shit, and just the cover, and oh, that's another thing. Like the box art for games and stuff has gotten so boring because what's the point? Like a lot of people just buy. I wouldn't say that, but you buy shit on digital, and like there would just be I saw this on Twitter. Like the box art just used to be so creative, and just like there would be manuals and shit in there, and inside the case, and there would be reversible covers and stuff like that, and just they just were so super stylized and stuff. And that's also I would say that is an art form. That's a lost art form, or again probably just like a lost practice, but. Yeah, it's just really disappointing to talk about. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna change subjects, and fucking hell, I guess this is also disappointing. Taraji P Henson, really a phenomenal actress. She doesn't get her flowers at all. She's really great in anything I see her in. One of her favorite roles of mine is in The Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. I feel like they both do a good job in that movie. I don't know why that wasn't a success. It was really maybe because like it's kind of disappointing to OG karate fans. I didn't watch. That was my first Karate Kid movie, and so that was my childhood Karate Kid, and she's great in that. Baby Boy, fucking everything. She was most recently in The Color Purple, and I'm sorry, I was gonna see this movie with my shorty, but I found out it was a musical, and I do not fuck with musicals, so I'm very sorry. I did not check that out. I hate musicals to my core. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry if that disappoints you. I honestly, I don't give a shit. But she was saying on the production of while making Color Purple, the production we're making them drive rental car themselves a set in rental cars. And this is from her. They gave us rental cars, and I was like, I can't drive myself to set in Atlanta. This is an insurance liability. It's dangerous. Now they're robbing people. What do I look like? Taking myself to work by myself in a rental car. So I was like, can I get a driver or security to take me? I'm not asking for the moon. They're like, well, if we do it for you, we got to do it for everybody. Well, do it for everybody. It's stuff like that. Stuff I shouldn't have to fight for. I was on the set of Empire fighting for trailers that wasn't infested with bugs. Empire's like a show. Okay, from if you're looking at this from outside in and like looking at what she's talking about, it could be like, oh my god, this fucking movie star is complaining about getting driven to work. Like I drive to work every day. Like da da da. I get that, but in their industry, the norm, especially for their male counterparts, and especially she's a black woman, how she's talking about fighting for trailers that weren't infested with bugs on a fucking show. And that was when it came out, it was a pretty big hit. And you could talk about the decline after, but whatever. When that show was pretty popping when it came out. And I used to fuck with that show too in the first couple seasons. But you have there's already been a known, is that the right word, disparity, or just a known gap in pay between women movie stars and men movie stars, and then you add she's a black woman, and also the guy Digimon Hansu that I was talking about earlier in How to Train Your Dragon Guardians of the Galaxy, he's also, and this isn't new, but I'm just saying he's also recently came out and said like, his pay compared to and this could compared to other actors is not where it should be, and this could, I don't know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a race thing, but there's just a history of it being a race thing. So it's just like, what else could it be? Like, he's a phenomenal actor. I just, it's like, she's a phenomenal actor. Like, why this is getting them a card, giving to set would be the norm for like movie stars and shit, or like white movie stars, or male movie stars in general. But or even like you get this again, like it's not always a gender thing, but even a female movie star, like this is the norm. And it's just like I don't know, just seeing black women getting treated like just poorly when and hold on, I was gonna say the wrong thing, but I was gonna say, fuck, what I was gonna say, just in general though. I was saying like when she doesn't deserve it, she's like phenomenal actress. But even if she wasn't a phenomenal actress, like she should be getting the same, amenities and accommodations like that everyone are like in the industry is getting. But I guess you could say, oh, production from production is different, whatever. But I don't know. It's like what she's saying makes sense. Like it's a liability. Like her driving herself to set. Like what if she gets injured? Like what if she gets fucking robbed? Like come on. Like I don't know. I'm not like fully in the space, so it's like I'm fine. I'm kind of having a hard time articulating like what the issue is, and like because again, like I said, from like the outside looking in, what she's complaining about seems like ungratefulness type shit. Like, oh, at least you got a rental car for you and whatnot. Like, but that isn't the point though. I don't know. I yeah, we're gonna move on for that, but that kind of just pissed me off, and I wanted to bring that up. So I've been watching the Blue Eye Samurai, and the creators. I don't know if I said this. I know that I think maybe mentioned they wanted to do a spinoff, but they said they're playing 3 or 4 seasons and a spinoff. This is from Screen Rant, and the creators were talking about. It's a good article and like a good insight. It's a good insight to the Blue Eye Samurai show, and it's a really Blue Eye Samurai is a really visually distinct in its show, and the animation is really good. The story's really good. But this article, if you are into that show, it's a good read. Just with how the show came to be, and the creative driving forces of getting what influence getting the show made and whatnot. But basically, they said in the article that they are planning 3 or 4 seasons. They know where the story is going to end, and they're hopefully trying to get 3 or 4 seasons. Season 2 is already greenlit. But they're trying to get 3 or 4 seasons because that's what they need to wrap up the show and the story they want to tell. And yeah, I hope they do get that. Season 2 is already greenlit before, like shortly after season 1, so it was really received really well. So that's cool to see. And I wonder what the spinoff is going to be about. I haven't finished the show yet. I'm on episode like 4 or 5, so I'm getting there. I just been kind of dragging my feet doing it. I just been, when I get my free time, like I'm usually just like editing, or like if I'm with my girl, like we're watching like a show we're watching, or watching a movie or whatever. And then also like she's into a lot of stuff that I'm into, or I introduced it to her, but not all this stuff aligns. Like I'm not gonna watch the Blue Eye Samurai with her. Like I gotta find some free time on my own to watch that. And that's just the way life goes. Gotta find the balance and shit, and with working and everything. And I know as like I'm just really in the building phase of my life, like I kind of didn't know what I want to do. Didn't know what I wanted to do for a while, and so working and finding and building I'm have a good idea. I have a solid idea of where my life is headed, and I have a plan, and I'm sticking to it. But basically, what I'm saying is, I'm in the building phase right now, so I don't have a lot of free time, And as I like start to enter those like careers and whatnot that I want to pursue, like I'll be able to stop working so much, and I'll get free time, and I'll be able to be on this shit more and watch the shit I want to watch, get the gaming time back. What I mentioned earlier was sad about not gaming as much, but yeah. Anyways, that was a fucking real life rant. That's the end of the movie and show news. We're gonna enter some gaming news before we get into the main topic. I'm gonna try to actually blitz through this so we can get to the main topic, because we've been going for I think like hour and a half, about hour 35 right now. But the Nintendo Switch 2 is rumored to drop in 2024. But it's not gonna. It's rumored. It's rumored to be the Switch 2. If you don't know, I'm not gonna explain the fucking Switch. Go look it up. But basically, I've been wanting to get a Switch for a while because there's some really good games on there. But I just know it's gonna be a fucking crazy distraction. Like there's just because that's just gonna open the door to a bunch of games that I missed out on. Like I want to try like the Super Mario games, like Wonder and shit, and Odyssey. I don't, some of the Pokemon games, especially the biggest thing is Zelda, and that's gonna take up a lot of time. And like, there's a bunch of indie games I want to check out. So, when I get a Switch, it's just gonna open the door to spending a good amount of money on the console, but then open the door to spending a lot of fucking money on games and taking a lot of my time. I think I said that sentence wrong, but whatever. Um, so I just been, not even like disappointingly, but just like just dragging my feet getting a Switch, and I'm glad I did because if I would have got one, then but it might not be the Switch 2, like a new version, like a upgrade. It might just be an iteration and not a complete revolution of the original Switch, according to rumors. And it's rumored to be around $400, and I think that's where I think the current Switch is like 350. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but a new Switch OLED like screen released, and so like I don't really know what this is gonna upgrade if it's not gonna be like a Switch 2. But I just wanted to bring that up because I'm getting close to buying a Switch, and I'm glad I've been holding off. And so I'm a wait to see stuff develop on the Switch 2 and see where this lands and what new features they bring to it and stuff. Since it's not like a whole new console, I guess. But I mentioned last week about when I was talking about anticipated games. I think I not I think I did mention Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and I said I didn't know really how the gameplay and shit was looking. But maybe I did. But it has a January 18th release date, so that's coming up. And I want to check this out. I don't know if I'll throw it up on my channel. Maybe. I'm playing Cyberpunk right now, but I just been, like I mentioned earlier. I just been, taking my time with that, and so yeah. But maybe what could get that channel more going, and I don't mean to like just chase trends or anything, but as games that I'm interested in coming out is playing the newer games, really getting to the algorithm and whatnot. Some stuff coming up, this may because Cyberpunk's kind of old and not old, but I don't know. Gaming, the gaming I feel like space is really hard to get into, and I mean like breaking into, because I think once I'm exposed, like people are gonna fuck with me for sure. But people like with gaming, it's like you're watching the same thing. So once you watch that thing, like unless like it's really the personality. Like people have their set people they watch for playthroughs. Like especially with single player games, like you're not, unless you really like your content creator, you're not gonna sit through and watch the same gameplay for like 3 or 4 times. I do it because, like I just said, I don't do it all the time, especially not recently because I don't have like the time to watch a full fucking playthrough. But like if it's a new game, like I have a couple people I want to see. I want to see the reaction. I want to see them play through it. But so with gaming, it's really hard to like break in because it's the same content type shit, and especially since on my second channel I'm not editing it. So that takes away too. So it's really gonna be on my personality type shit, and I want to get a cam to really boost that as well. And I know when I fucking once I get more exposure and shit, that it's gonna be fine. But anyways, yeah, I might throw this up on the gaming channel, but it's like a 2D, not 2D, but it's like a side scroller, and it was like inspired by the Metroid game, so that's cool. I really want to check it out. I saw some gameplay and it was looking nice because I think before I didn't, yeah, I don't know if I said I saw gameplay, but they released something and it's like a 24-hour story. I'm gonna keep an eye out for this. I fuck with Prince of Persia. So some AAA game budgets are now exceeding major blockbuster movies. Example: Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 cost Sony 300 million plus USD to make. This is like from someone who said hard to disagree with Sean Layden's statement that AAA game development is no longer sustainable. With current trajectory, game budgets could reach half a billion next gen, which is yeah, I mean what the fuck he said, because GTA 6 is reportedly to be a billion plus. So that is insane. Just the development cycle though, I've been thinking this for a while. It's not sustainable. Like these games are starting to have longer development cycles with like 5 to like 6 to 7 years, and then you're spending this absurd amount of money on it, and if it's not an established IP, you don't know if it's gonna hit. And so it's like, and the gaming industry is one of the most profitable industries because you've literally are charging now $70+ plus tax on games, and they're selling like millions of copies, and it's just like compared to like a movie ticket, like you're spending like at most $20, 25. That's an expensive last movie ticket, $25. But you're at most spending $20 or whatever. And so it just doesn't compare. Like, and then you got accessories with fucking controllers cost $80. Come on, headsets and whatnot. So it's a really lucrative industry, but it's just you. I feel like the cycle's just growing too long. And in my opinion, let them cook. Like, let them cook these things, but that's not sustainable. And I think I mentioned that Sony's gonna try to move to more mid-sized games in between their blockbusters, because that's the only, with the big companies, like, that's the only thing to survive. Like, you can't wait 4 to 5 years after announcement. I'm looking at you, Blade Game, to, like, it just, you got investors, like, putting in their time, and, like, you get, like I just said, the Blade trailer being put out, like, when the game's 4 to 5 years out. Like, come on. Same with the Wolverine game, that teaser being put out when it first came, when it first dropped, and then it's not gonna really release till like 2025. Like, come on. It's just, overall, it's interesting. Either something's gonna shift or this is gonna implode, and we're gonna see a very big shift in gaming. But regardless, like, there's still, like, games don't have to. See, I'm not really. Games don't have to cost. Yeah, fucking Ghost of Tsushima was like. Hold on, I gotta find out the budget, because that game is phenomenal and it looks great. The graphics are cool. Um, Let me see the budget on that, because I feel like it was. Also, and that article with the LA Times, when it was talking about AI and shit, it was like a good. Um, uh, they were saying that, like, gaming is gonna be the new thing, and they're gonna try to, because Ghost of Tsushima is being developed into a movie, so they're gonna try to get into that space, especially with, like, the success. They say this in the article, with the success of Mario and Five Nights at Freddy. Like, they're gonna try to get into that. But let me try to find the budget of Ghost of Tsushima. Whoa, I was gonna say 80 million, but it was low. This is from Game Racks. I don't know. But it's 60 million. What the? That's crazy. That is insane. Ghost of Tsushima looks amazing. What? And then you have, I'm really trying to wrap my head around. It's, damn, that art direction and art style really plays a fucking big, like, because I'm just, like, lining, like, graphics up to Spider-Man 2 type shit, and Spider-Man 2 graphics are obviously better, but Ghost of Tsushima was released on the PS4 as well, so, like, imagine that purely releasing on the PS5 and how much better that would look, and how much, you know, more that would go into that. That's crazy. 60 million? And, like, I'm just trying to, like, just compare, like, Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man 2 in my head, which is, I mean, they're open world, they're, third person. It's definitely different vibes, but it's like, damn. Like, just thinking about the story and just the length and what was in it and the missing features and shit, and what were they spent, what? And then you have, and it's built off the, I mean, it's a really big upgrade, but it's built off the back of, like, Spider-Man 1, which, they already have, like, all those assets and shit, but is this a money laundering scheme? Like, what is going on? I'm really confused about that. What? Man. But yeah, that's not sustainable. But it's like, if you have Ghost of Tsushima is a AAA title. The development, I don't know how long. Hold on, let's see how long it took for Ghost to be developed. Development time. Let's see. So it's reportedly here 6 years. So that's pretty long. But 60 million, 6 years, and then it sold pretty well. Like, I don't know. Because I was going to say, that's sustainable to release in between, the big budget games, or, the big budget games that are taking hella long, but that took pretty long too. But if you're making something look that good for 60 million, bro, fuck. And then it's a time thing, apparently. I'm just trying to think, like, you're going to have to invest in the indie market, bro, and not try to blow them up like crazy. And, and they're taking the long to here, but we really are probably going to see an emphasis on indie games and more smaller, mid-sized games as we're going forward. And that's going to be interesting with, like, this price hike of $70 games. Like, how is that going to play a factor in if we're going to be getting shorter games and whatnot? Like, are they going to be willing to take that price cut or whatever? Like, the companies and whatnot, they have the room to do it. It's just they're being greedy. But I don't know. Damn, we're gonna probably see a real shift in gaming the next couple years, and that's probably said all the time, to be honest. So the last piece of gaming news: an acclaimed first-party Xbox game will rumoredly will go to multi-platform this year. This is kind of crazy. Has there been done this before? In this article, it says like the game was also up for Game of the Year in the year that it was released. Uh, I don't know what I seen some speculation because I'm thinking fucking Starfield on PlayStation, and that wouldn't make really sense. They just bought Bethesda, but it could be something smaller, like something that was really a big sleeper hit, Hi-Fi Rush, and I was seeing like that's just gonna be ported to Switch, which would be disappointing. But hey, is this like trouble? Is this bad news for Xbox, or is this like a strategic business strategy that is actually like more beneficial to them? Um, who knows? But if it's High Five Rush and it just goes to Switch, that's gonna be disappointing. But if it comes to PlayStation as well, that's gonna be great because I wanted to check out High Five Rush, but I don't have a fucking Xbox. But it's gonna be if this rumor is true, it's gonna be really interesting to see what that is and if that does set a precedent going forward. Like our other will PlayStation dab into this? Like they release some stuff on PC, but I don't know. That would be cool to see. Like, what if? I mean, I don't think they would do it, but like, what if Spider-Man got released on Xbox? I mean, to me, the exclusivity, I get it, but it's like, damn, a bunch of people can't play Spider-Man because they don't have a PlayStation. That's crazy. It's something I would want to, if this does set it like a trend going forward, something I would want to see to come out to multi-platform is Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3 that's exclusive to Switch. I was so pumped when I heard that there was another Ultimate Alliance game coming out, even though if the second one wasn't as great as the first. I was sorely disappointed to find out that was only a Switch thing. And it has like, I think I talked about this a little bit before, but had like Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, Nova, like Drax, and more updated characters and stuff as the MCU is making them popular in the comics and shit, making them popular and whatnot. So that would have been cool to experience, but hopefully, like, oh wait, no, that was multiplayer. I was gonna say the Guardians game, but yeah, but yeah, that was the last bit of gaming news. But a little comic book news. So I've been keeping an eye on this. So and I need to keep it out more. But the new highly anticipated Ultimate Spider-Man run is dropping this month, January on the 10th. Oh, the 10th. Shit, that's in three. That's like a couple days. Damn. But I wanted to bring that up because I've been trying to get into comics more, and I really only read stuff that's already been out and stuff, highly acclaimed runs and whatnot, and I'm not exposed to a lot of new stuff, and so I've been trying to get my eyes on some more new stuff. And there's a couple things in, I'll probably see them when I go. But point being, I wanted to go pick this up at my local comic book shop. Again, physical shit, supporting local businesses and stuff. I mean, it's a comic store, but it just this is like kind of the backbone of not even kind of it's the backbone of what I like. Like I like superhero movies, I like superhero shows and shit. And this shit is inspired from comics, so it's like, I kind of want to support the comic industry and buy like physical and shit, and not just sell the seven C's online to read stuff, or use Marvel Unlimited or something like that, and really just show support and get those numbers on the sales, because the comic book sales are really they've been on the decline for a while. And I don't know, just want to participate in that. And again, that goes into, like I just said, physical stuff, and I'm trying to be big on that. And with comics though, it's a little bit different for me because um what's it called? I don't I mean, it's not different, but it's like I just don't want to waste money on something I don't like. Like I bought some Batman books, and the Long Halloween was in there in the Batman books that I bought, graphic novels or whatever. I don't think it's graphic novels, but I really ended up liking the Long Halloween, but then the other ones I didn't even fucking finish. It was like Batman Damned in like a Joker comic, and it was like just super edgy and shit, and I just like felt like I wasted my money on that shit, and I was just like, I don't know, I don't so I think I mentioned this before, but maybe I'll check it out online and then I'll go buy it. But this is just something I'm interested in right off the bat. Like it's Spider-Man getting bit way when he's older, which is not, which is I don't has it been done before? I haven't seen it. I don't know. But he has like a family and kids already, and then he's just now getting bit, and it's because in the Ultimate Universe of like the Maker or whatever, it's like Reed Richard. I don't know. He stopped the spider from biting Peter until like now or whatever, until like he's older, or he stopped it when he was younger and just ends up happening when he's older. I'm not sure the logistics and how that comes to fruition, but it's just really interesting premise. So yeah, I've been keeping an eye out for this. So yeah, I'm gonna go pick this up at the comic book store when this drops. So, and I'll talk about the first issue too, or whatever releases if I'm really fucking with it. I'm gonna talk about the first issue for sure, but if it's like I continue fucking with it, I'll do when it wraps up. I'll do like a review maybe. But now we're on to the main topic: the best and worst live action Marvel shows. So I got two lists here, and this Wikipedia one kind of encompasses everything already, but as a couple that are left off, the older shows that are left off. But let's just go. I guess down. Oh no, it does have the all the other ones. Okay, there's a lot of them I don't know about. Sorry, I'm just like going through this. Oh, cool. All right. Anyways, we'll just start up top and start with. I guess it's going from release date. So, let's see. Spider Spider Super Stories. What is this? What is this? I don't know. Number of episodes 29. Running time 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Maybe each episode's is probably 5 minutes. It's a children's TV production company, Children's Television Workshop Network PBS. So this ran from 1974 to 77. Let's see the overviews. Episodes feature the Marvel character Spider-Man provided to the Children's Television Workshop for free of charge. Oh, interesting. I don't know what the fuck. And was played always in costume by puppeteer and dancer. So this is like a puppeteer shit, a kid show. So I definitely have not heard anything about that ever. And so yeah, I don't really have anything about that. So the Amazing Spider-Man is the next one. Okay. Oh, I've seen some stuff on this. Not stuff. I haven't. I just seen some people talk about it before. I've never seen an episode of this thing, but it's Nicholas Hammond as Peter Parker. This was I'm trying to see how many production. Here we go. Each episode was like 45 minutes. Number of seasons 2. Number of episodes 13 minutes. So 6, 7 probably, or vice versa or whatever. How it released. Yeah, I've seen some people talk about this. So during this, when was this released? This was released. So I guess at the end of the other Spider-Man show ending. This was on CBS. It was released September 14th, 1977 to 1979. During the mid 1970s, Marvel Comics publisher, co-star, and Spider-Man's co-creator Stan Lee sold CBS the rights to produce a primetime live-action Spider-Man series to be made by producers Daniel R. Goodman, and actor Nicholas Hammond was cast in the lead role. Though all Spider-Man stunts were performed by the series stunt coordinator Fred Wah, Lee and Goodman fiercely clashed over the direction of the series during the initial production. Lee once said in an interview for Pizzazz magazine that he felt the series was too juvenile. I'm not gonna get into all that, but it seems to be some beef on set. What the fuck? Let's see some characters. Robert F. Simon as J. Jonah Jameson, Chip Fields as Rita Conway. Don't know that Spider-Man character. Michael Pateki as Captain Barbera. Eli Bry as Julie Masters. So I don't know any of those Spider-Man characters except J. Jonah. Let's see. Is there any other? I don't know. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, so I've seen some people talk about that. I don't know if what is his name? Hammond. Nicholas Hammond. I don't know if he's supposed to be a teenager, but he looks old as shit, like everyone else in the fucking 90s and shit. The next one is Incredible Hulk. So this is, I know a little bit more about this one. My dad was into this into this. But this was like the old original show that gets referenced quite a few times. A more recent reference was in She-Hulk. They did, I think she did, she was explaining her origin story or something like that. They did like a reference, and it was like shot in the same like way that the show is shot and stuff, and looked super practical. It was a really fun moment. She-Hulk's super fun. I guess I'll get into it later. But Incredible Hulk is this series, American television series based on the Marvel Comics characters, the Hulk, obviously. The series aired on the CBS television network and starred Bill Bixby as Dr. David Banner and Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. Yeah, so they did a cool thing where Lou Ferrigno, he also shows up in did he show up in the fucking what is the who made the original Hulk movie? I don't remember, but I think he shows up in there too. But he shows up. I know. I distinctly remember him showing up in the Incredible Hulk as like as a security guard, and Bruce bribes him for pizza, with pizza to get into a facility or whatever. But it was like it was really, I wouldn't say, well, I guess innovative. I wasn't in the time, but it's really interesting how they played that, and how, you know, you just get this hulking of a man bodybuilder type to play the Hulk version, and then from the clips and stuff and how he's like ripping out of his shirts, like all that is super cool. And then he has like a cool crossover with like a good Daredevil episode. I think Mr. Sunday Movies and talked about it on his channel, or at least on his podcast. But that was yeah, it was before my time, honestly. And then one piece of information though, I remember, I don't know who it was that made this decision. He's not named Bruce Banner in this series, named David Banner, and that's because someone said that Bruce was a gay name, so they changed it to David. Okay, I don't see how that's the case, but yeah, that's why he's named David Banner. David Banner. This really has the Spider-Man series. Oh, it's the Toei one. Okay, so this is the Spider-Man, the Emissary of Hell. Okay. So yeah, this is a Japanese Spider-Man series. This is there's like there's like this funny like picture that goes around on Twitter and shit, or I guess the internet in general, but it's Spider-Man holding a machine gun, and it's just a really funny clip, because not clip, but it's like it's a funny picture, because why the fuck does Spider-Man have a machine gun? But this is like introduced. He was supposed to be in Spider-Verse. I'm pretty sure he's really officially confirmed for Beyond, because I think he was in a draft in Across the Spider-Verse. That's the second one. But I guess didn't fit the story or whatever. But he has like a giant Power Ranger type mech, and he has like a spider car. I don't know if it's a spider car. But he has like, yeah, a mech and a spider car and stuff. And so I haven't seen an episode of this, but he's just referenced a lot, and he's a fan favorite in the Spider-Man community. But where is this? How many episodes had? So number of episodes 41 plus a movie. Maybe I'll check out the movie. Each episode looks like it's running for 24 minutes, so standard show. This came on Tokyo Channel 12 TV Tokyo. This came out in 78 to 79. So did this run concurrently with that other show? Because that show was from 77 to 79. So that's interesting. These were running at the same time. Yeah, I don't really have much to say more about that, but I seen this recently. There's a Blade series. I guess that was on CW. Apparently, I'm not too sure about that, but yeah. So who played Blade? So number episodes 13, number seasons 1. So this was like yeah, it was one and done. Developed by David S. Goyer. I hear this name a lot. Who is he? Let me click on this name. What does he do? He's an American filmmaker. I don't really care anymore. Yeah. Let's see. Who played Blade? Who played Blade though? John Kent Etheridge as young Eric Brooks. I always forget that's Blade's name. Yeah. Oh, executive producer Jim Rossnell, John Crow, Jeff Johns, Avi Arad, David Skimmons. I've heard. Yeah. I seen like someone on Twitter say like the people involved like kind of, I don't know, are they not controversial, but do they make shit stuff? I don't know. The Blade series is an American television series created by David S. Goyer for Spike, based on the Marvel Comics character Blade. Obviously, continuity with New Line Cinema's Blade's film series. It was produced by New Line in association with Marvel Entertainment. The series takes place after the events of the film Blade Trinity in 2004 and stars Sticky Fingers, credited as Kirk Sticky Jones, Eric Brooks, Blade with Joe Wagner, Neil Jackson, Jessica Goyer, Nielsen Lee, starring 2-hour pilot, was directed by Peter O'Fallon from a script David Goyer wrote. The series premiered, blah, blah, blah. All right. Soldier Kiss the Star returns from military service. This is the plot. Iraq to learn that her twin brother, Zach, I don't care anymore. I guess this was bad, so whatever. I don't really care. I'm not going to watch it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I checked this out when his first dropped because this isn't all bad. I feel like it gets a bad rap, but it gets better. It started out strong and I feel like dropped in the middle and then got better as it went on. But this was like, I'm trying to think. The problem with this show was it was too serialized. Like the good moments were when they were like dealing with the events of the Marvel universe, because like after Thor Dark World, like they dealt with like kind of the aftermath of that, and then like after Hydra collapsed in Winter Soldier, you felt the shock from that, and then some fudge. There was something else that happened. Some Age of Ultron stuff maybe. And then but then they had some good original, and there was just no like superheroes in it. It was just all like agent stuff, and so to me that was not really interesting as like a week to week just agents doing shit. Like there was just not enough superhero shit for my liking. But then they also like did their there's some that I've heard some cool things with the Humans and Quake. I don't know if she's in Human, but I don't know. That's a character I hear like people talk about. They want to come from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But they did some good stuff with Ghost Rider, which was really interesting. I actually want to go check out those episodes because it's Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. He has like a charger, and that looks cool as shit when it's flamed up. And then at least in the comics, and then he looks really good. And actually for like what is this show on ABC? ABC, I think. So each episode, yeah. So it was on ABC. ABC ran from 20. Wow, this came out on my birthday. Came out in 2013 and then ended in 2020. So it ran for 7 years. That's pretty good. It had where is that? 7 seasons, 136 episodes. So it had its crowd. One thing that I wish they would have brought, folded into the movies is Coulson coming back. I really liked him in Avengers and whatnot, and the early phase 1 of the MCU. And he plays a pretty, I'm not sure how much going forward, but he played a pretty big part in the show. Like he's a life model decoy or some shit, because he died in Loki, which bringing him back, like it's comic shit, but he's just a cool character, so I honestly don't mind it. He has like a flying car in there. I think he races Ghost Rider's car. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna check the show out. So at most, I'll check out the Ghost Rider episodes, but that's not really on my list anytime soon. The next thing is Agent Carter. Yeah, I mean, heard it was decent. Haley Atwell, she's cool. He plays Agent Carter. She knows. It was cool seeing her, I guess, in Multiverse of Madness, but she got done dirty. This went from 2015 to 2026. How many episodes they had? Oh, 2 seasons, 18 episodes. So I guess people really weren't feeling it a whole lot. But something they were feeling, though? Daredevil. So this is probably my... I would have to do some thinking about that. But this is a really, really top Marvel show. And Season 3, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Season 3, brother. Season 3. That's probably my favorite, like, season of... I would say, I gotta do some thinking about that, but for sure, it's my favorite season of a comic book show. Just like the themes it's dealing with, and the parallels, and and the development of Bullseye, which I was mentioning earlier, and then Matt Murdock like finally getting putting the mittens on the Kingpin, and then like having the chance to kill him, but he doesn't. And one like thing I really like is like the primordial scream that Kingpin tells Bullseye about. And it's just like letting it out, and then Daredevil does that like as he's like contemplating if he wants to kill the Kingpin. It's just such a good acting moment from fucking Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock Daredevil. Like just the way like his hands are hesitant to snap Kingpin's neck, and just his subtleties. Oh, it's just a great fucking performance. And then you have the jail fight in the series or in the season 3, and that's like it's a masked it's not actually one take, but it's filmed to look like it's one take. That fight is fucking, oh my god, bro. That is that's a banger. That's a banger. But get back to like the first season and stuff. It was a really cool introduction into this nice gritty compared to the MCU world, and you're not seeing necessarily, but Kingpin is slamming guys' heads and doors, and people are getting impaled through their neck and shit like that. And I do think Daredevil's costume is pretty ass. I really hope they revamp it and upgrade it in his show at some point, or in like a future season and stuff, because it still looks like it looks for now he still has it. He had a new one in She-Hulk, his yellow and red one, but it's like the same style of the original, so it just didn't look that good. And I'm not a fan of the yellow and red. I know it's like his original look or whatever. It's one of his first looks, but I'm just not really a fan of it. But I really hope they at least make it like I'm not too fussed about it has like a really military vibe to it. I'm not too and that's like kind of all the costumes in the MCU, and I feel like some are look better with the military like aesthetic on it than others. But so with Daredevils, I'm not really fussed about it. My main problem with it is how like muted the red is. Like Daredevil's comic in the Daredevil's costume in the comics is very bright red, and it's way more cloth. Which I would want to see a more like skin tight suit, and I feel like that could, if you pull it off right, that could work. You got the fucking leather one in the old Daredevil movie that looks ass, but you can make it work, bro. You can make any comic book, I think, costume work if you try hard enough. But I feel like a lot of them just default to what's easy, which is that military look and whatnot. But I feel like it should be bright red at the very least. But yeah, like I say, it was a great introduction into this new universe, and it really set the tone for that whole Netflix vibe going forward, which I really enjoyed for the most part. Season 1 was, what was season 1 dealing with? I don't fucking remember a whole lot about season. I like just the main, like just overall plot. I don't remember a whole lot, but the second season I remember, because that first half of the season dealing with the Punisher, gas, bro. That could have been a whole banger season, but after the Punisher kind of exits the story and it focuses on the Hand and Elektra, I feel like it loses a lot of steam. And it's like I don't dislike Elektra, or I don't know a whole lot about her to dislike her, but specifically the actress for her was really good. I wouldn't mind seeing her come back, since all this stuff is canon now. But that was, yeah, she was decent, but it's just like it was just such a step down from like the Punisher stuff, and like you get that conversation with Matt Murdock and the Punisher on the roof, and that's a really good conversation, and like about their ideals and whatnot. John Berthenthal's fucking, it was his first introduction as the Punisher. I love the Punisher's pretty fucking cool to me, so it was cool seeing him, and then played by a really great actor, and just loved his performance as the Punisher. That was super fun. And just, him calling him, is that a thing in the comic, Punisher always calling Daredevil Red? I really liked when the Punisher called Daredevil Red. It was fun. And then, I just talked about the third season, but yeah, and then it ending with the third season ending with that cliffhanger with Bullseye coming back, and then the Netflix universe is getting canceled. It was just super, super disappointing. So this show coming back and it being in continuity is so A1, brother. I love it. That was really long winded. Jessica Jones. I did not. What is? So this ran for 3 seasons, 39 episodes. From what year? What year, brother? 2015 to 2019. So this was the second show in the Netflix universe. I didn't finish the third season. It kind of just lost me, especially with like hearing this universe was canceled. So it's like, if it ends on another cliffhanger, I'm gonna be. I don't know if it came out after. I don't. What was the last? I don't know what the last season of what, but I feel like this was around the time where like stuff was getting canceled, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't really invested in anymore. Especially the second season is fine, but the first season is really good with Kilgrave, and then it's played by David Tennant. His performance as Kilgrave is great, and then Jessica Ritter, is that her name? Kristen Ritter, it's not fucking Jessica Jones, but Kristen Ritter. She's in other stuff, but I remember what I like when the show first came out. I seeing her in Breaking Bad, and then just she's so good as Jessica Jones. She just plays that alcoholic, just don't give a shit about nothing. Like, oh my god, like, can this be over? Just vibes so well. And then Jessica Jones introduced Luke Cage, which that was a really good thing to deal with, and then especially with like Kilgrave in the mix, and then controlling Luke Cage, and that whole episode, and like she has to like shoot him in the head with a shotgun, and then the night nurse comes in, and she has to go through his like eye or his nose or some shit to help him relieve pressure in his brain. Or it's a really good like introduction of characters, and really good like dealing with the universe and whatnot. Yeah, I just really like Jessica Jones, and it was not super disappointing, but I was disappointed to hear, but not totally disappointed but initially, she was supposed to be in Daredevil Born Again, and I guess Jessica Jones was gonna be helping Matt track someone down, and he was like reaching out to her for help, but there was some scheduling conflicts, and so they switched it for the Punisher. So I don't know what the Punisher's role is gonna be, if they just reworked it so like the Punisher's helping her or something, which they could both do. I mean, the Punisher's is gonna be probably a little bit more loud about it, but but yeah. So she was supposed to be in scheduling conflicts, but it was still great hearing to know that she at least eventually will be coming back at some point. It just wasn't gonna be in Daredevil Born Again, and she could play. I think it was like the rumor was like she could still be in it, just a way more minor role, which I would be if she's not in it, I'm not too fussed. Or I guess, I am fussed, but not too fussed because she's coming back at some point. But if she plays a minor role, that'd be cool. Yeah, but I really liked her sister character. She was really fun. Rachel Taylor as Trish Walker. I liked how that like developed in her powers. She plays like she's Hellcat in the comics, and they were like slowly building to that. And I feel like it was more explored in season 3, which I didn't finish. But I just liked how she just wanted that power that Jessica had, and like what she was willing. She was dumb at some points, but what she was willing to do to get that, and getting that like surgery or whatever. Taking it that far, getting that. Oh, because she was on the pills and stuff. That was that was some good stuff. And like what pushed her to do that. And then it eventually, like, she got the surgery and it didn't seem like it worked. And then you get that little tease. She like drops her phone in the elevator and she catches it with her foot. And like, she's like, whoa. And she's like, it was a cool moment. I really like the supporting cast as well. Is this the guy? No. Oh, there is Mahoney. Is it? No, there is this black. Is he in that? Some of them has this one black cop, and I liked him a lot, but I don't know what show that was. But yeah, Jessica Jones is great. We're going for 2 hours 17, and we got a little bit to go to, but we're making good pace. I'm not really stressed. I'm not crunched for time, but I just don't want the potty to be too long, But fuck it, we ball. Next up is Luke Cage. I'm gonna just briefly touch on this. This ran from 2016 to 2018. Had 2 seasons. I don't even think I finished the second one, to be honest. So 2 seasons, 26 episodes. The first episode of Luke Cage is great to me. So what was it? So I like Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. I feel like he does really good. I really, really hope they bring him. They should be bringing him back, but I really hope they bring him back. He plays Luke Cage really well. I mean, I don't know a ton about him in the comics, but I don't know. I really liked his vibe and shit. And but real was really a standout to me in this show was Mahershala Ali as Cornell Cottonmouth. Oh my! I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. He's probably my favorite villain in the MCU, and I don't mean that. I know I say like I say that I over exaggerate a lot, and I just blow shit out of proportion sometimes. But he genuinely is probably my favorite villain in um the MCU. Right, even right here in this description, Ali's describes Stokes as a Godfather type villain. Um, while head of the Marvel Television, Jeff Loeb referred to him as the other hero of the story, which is whoa, that's an interesting perspective on the character. Um, I gotta watch that again because I just love just the vibes they brought to Cottonmouth and just the performance Mahershala Ali brought to him. He just really knocks out of the park. And sorry to spoil it, but he dies, and the villain that steps in is a dead. Just comparatively, it just his performance and his gravitas, it just doesn't stack up in my opinion. Um, it just I don't know. And then this season just devolves into like it was just the action just wasn't that great. And I'm trying because I was watching I listened to a lot of old Weekly Planet episodes, and I listened to an episode recently about I was up to when this show first came out and they were doing their podcast and they reviewed this show. So I'm not trying to parrot shit from them, but they were just like saying, the action's not as good as like Jessica Jones, and it's interesting because Jessica Jones and like Luke Cage kind of have the same like fighting shit. Like they're just kind of just throwing people around and shit with their super strength. But with Jessica Jones action, it's like there's usually like an underlying like really like a tension filled moment. Like while she's fighting, like she's on like a time crunch to do something, like someone's about to kill themselves or whatnot or some shit. Or she can't like really hurt the people because with Kilgrave, you can't really hurt the people he's controlling because they're not in control. So it's like they're, yeah. But basically what I just said. But let me take a swig of water. And so, yeah. What was I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, the action. It's all right. There's some definitely highlight moments. Like there's one where she's like walking through a like enemy or a fucking like trap house or some shit, and like they're all just like there's like a gate and they're shooting at him, and like I think there's some moments where like he rips off a car door and some shit. But I feel like as a whole, it's not that great. But then when he pairs up to it, I'll get to it. But yeah, that first episode's my favorite. And I just kind of lost steam with the show as it went on, and I didn't even really check out the second season as per memory. Ooh, we're on some fucking gas right here. Legion, bro. A lot of people are asleep on Legion, and maybe I could be wrong, but I just don't see a lot of people talk about it. It ran from 2017 to 2019. This is by FX. 3 seasons, 27 episodes. This show's great, bro. It has a lot of personality, super stylized. The main character. So Legion, if you don't know the character, I haven't really been explaining these characters, so my fault. Legion, if you don't know the characters, Charles Xavier's son, and he has like a personality disorder, but each personality has a different power. So he's just this OP character that is really capable of anything. And this show's about him. And when this show first came out, I actually started watching it with my grandpa, and we were really into it. The first episode, like the I was kind of checking out by the third season, but the first season, and there's some really great stuff in the third and the second season and everything. But the first season, bro, that's some special shit right there. It honestly might be up there with like it probably is up there with Daredevil season 3, for me. But just man, the Shadow King and just him, and then Aubrey Plaza's in this, and there's some really really good Amber Midthunder. That's where I first got exposed to her. She's in the most recent Predator movie, Prey, which got released on Hulu. That's a great movie. You should check that out. But she's a really good actress that I got introduced through this show. Same with the main guy who plays Legion. What is his name? Dan Stevens. I think he's also in the Godzilla X Kong movie. He plays one of the main human characters. But yeah, this show's just great, bro. The Shadow King, he just has this menacing vibe all throughout. So the Shadow King is like, so he's trying to take over David's body, because he knows, because he was in a fight with Xavier, and Xavier, fucked him up, and so he's trying to take over his son's body. But David has crazy power, so he wants that, and so it's just like him trying to, and he's been a parasite in David's mind for a really long time, and David just didn't know if he was real, and David has his own problems of his own, but the Shadow King being like in his mind has not helped that at all, and it's just a really trippy just vibe of the show. Like, if this is real, like the Shadow King be in the background sometimes looking scary as fuck. His design is goofy as hell, but it's really creepy though. He's like this fucking fat ass body with these skinny arms and legs. It just looks really like odd and really like creepy, like I just said. But if you haven't checked out this show, bro, check out this show immediately. In the first season, it was like kind of like looser, like trying to loosely not really like say, oh, Xavier's his dad, but they kind of like really lean into it, and lean into mutants. It's a really good show about like mutants and stuff, and it's cool seeing the powers of different people and stuff. Amber Mid-Thunder's character, she plays this character where she's a twin, and but they can go inside each other's bodies. Sounds weird, but I mean like morph together. Like if one gets hurt, she can, or is sleepy or whatever. Oh, and also when they're inside each other's body, they don't age, and so like one twin is like looks way younger than the other twin, because she like for a while was like in his body for a minute, and I forget, something happened, maybe like some traumatic happened, but she was in there for a while, and or she makes him, maybe I think it's like she's just there for the action bits, and like when there's confrontation, so he lives the life like mostly day to day, and so she's inside. That sounds weird. She's inside him most of the time, and so she doesn't age a lot as much as he does. So yeah, because she's like very introverted and stuff like that. But Legion is phenomenal. Go check that out. But next on the list is Iron Fist. This was all right. So there was like some really like, this went from 2017 to 2018. How many episodes? 2 seasons, 23 episodes. So Finn Jones was cast as Danny Rand, and so Iron Fist, he's like basically, so his family owns a company, Rand Industries or whatever, super rich, billionaire type vibes, and he goes on this trip with his parents. I don't know the reasons, but the plane crashes, and then like he ends up in this Tibetan mountains, and he ends up and stumbles upon Lin Kuei. No, is that fucking Mortal Kombat? I think that's Mortal Kombat. What are the Iron Fist guys called? Fuck, what is it called? Kunlun. There we go. Kunlun. So yeah, he ends up getting trained by the monks of Kunlun, and then there is a I don't know if they're not immortal, but it's called the Immortal Iron Fist. Maybe like because the power's immortal. But they have like, this warrior of, them, and they get imbued. They got to fight this fucking dragon. I don't, is it a metaphorical thing, or is it like a mind thing, or is the dragon real? I don't know. But you have to fight this dragon. When they beat oh yeah, it might be real. And they got to like pierce their hands through the dragon's like molten heart or some shit to kill it. And once they do that, like they get imbued with the power of the immortal Iron Fist. And basically Iron Fist, hey, that should be wrecking shit. So once he fires that bad boy up, you better get out the way, because if you get hit with that, you're going down, brother. You're going down. And so, but basically he's just like this really one of the best I think Shang-Chi's the best, but he's really up there. One of the best martial artists in the Marvel universe. So you see, I think he's an interesting character, and especially once you go into like, especially depending on the writer, and they go deeper into like his privilege, and it's been a big thing about the character, like he's this privileged white billionaire, and he uses his money to, help, and so that's been a really big part of his character that I'm interested in. I got to definitely read some more Iron Fist comics. I think there's a new Iron Fist though, and Danny Rand is mentoring him. But yeah, the show, it was, so Finn Jones, who got cast as Iron Fist, got the short end of the stick because I think like so like I just said, so he's one of the best martial artists, and he didn't have like a whole lot of time to literally. I think he was doing it on the day of like doing the choreography. And so like the fights in Iron Fist just look a little wonky and shit, and it's not that good, which is like shooting the show in the foot because that's should be the literal highlight of the show is the martial arts. And so and he that barely uses his Iron Fist. He doesn't use it a lot. As he uses one for a while, and I don't even think he has the second one for a bit. And what I really remember about this show is that this guy he gets like a red Iron Fist, which was pretty cool to see. I just like the effect is cool, and then seeing it in red was cool since that's my favorite color. But just remember by the end of the second season, bro, it ends in the most fucking goofiest way. This motherfucker, I forgot what happens, bro. But after like Danny Rand does his shit, like the events of the story goes on, he's like at this bar and like he gets into it with these guys and he pulls out two fucking pistols imbued with the power of the immortal Iron Fist and like shoots the bullet. Like some guys shoot at him and he shoots the bullets, and his bullets, like since they're imbued with the power of the Iron Fist, go through theirs. Bro, it is the most goofiest shit in the world, bro. And then like there's this character Colin Wing, and this was pretty cool. It wasn't it looks kind of goofy, wasn't as goofy, but it was pretty cool. But she gets like some Iron Fist power, and like it's like hers is her sword, and she like is imbuing the power through the sword. And I guess that's a cool concept, like imbuing the like senses running through your fist, whatever you're holding gets the power of the Iron Fist. That's a cool concept, but you know, it just ended like that's how the show ended, and it was just really goofy. But I'm not so as these a lot of fuck as a lot of these Netflix characters are starting to come back. You know, you're getting Jessica Jones back, Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, John Berthal as Punisher, Charlie Cox as Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. We haven't gotten word on Luke Cage and Iron Fist, those actors coming back. And honestly, I said like I wanted to see Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. Like he's a good fit, but like I'm not attached to him. Like I'm not fussed if they do get someone else to take a crack at it. Same with Iron Fist is what I'm saying. I didn't dislike Finn Jones, but you know, I'm not like Charlie Cox like blew his like part out of the water, so it's like he gotta come back type shit. Same with like Vincent D'Onofrio and stuff. What's it called? So yeah, I don't know if he's coming back or not. But I really want to see Heroes for Hire in the Marvel Universe, especially as we're moving into the street level shit, apparently. So, or just at least fucking Luke Cage and Danny Rand team up. I feel like that's an interesting combo. And again, don't know super about him in the comics, but in the Ultimate Spider-Man show, he's on like Spider-Man's team, younger versions of the characters. And I don't know, I just like that pairing, to be honest. Like you got someone that's literally indestructible, and then you got someone, you know, with the Iron Fist, and when they clash, it's fun too. Since like Iron Fist is the only person to really be able to, like for the most part, able to hurt Luke Cage, and so when they get into it, it's like it's interesting to see. But yeah, the show is whatever lukewarm on it, to be honest. The next is Defenders. So the Defenders ran. It was a 2017, and it was just one season, and it was all those Netflix, all those guys coming together, and so yeah. So I was also saying I want to see like the Defenders, Heroes for Hire. I think I said that earlier. I know Heroes for Hire, but Defenders, I might have mentioned that earlier. But you know, these ground level, street level teams, I want to see that. You know. So you know, all those guys came together, and this was fine. I don't remember a whole lot from it. I just really remember the ending, especially since it really leads into not Deadpool, Daredevil season 3. There's fucking so basically they band together to come in together to stop the Hand, and like it's this whole plot of fucking this skyscraper is built on dragon bones, and they need the dragon bones, and so they gotta destroy the building or some I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm stretching. I don't know, it's just super goofy. But and like it ends with the building coming like down and Daredevil staying back while everyone goes up, and essentially dying with Elektra. But that all leads into him being, his hearing, is his hearing fucked up? I don't know if his hearing's fucked up in the start of season 3, but he's just off his game, and that's from being fucked up and a whole building collapsing on him. So yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about Defenders, but I remember it being fine. Oh, one thing I would say, and this is a point that is, and I feel this on as well, but I just distinctly remember it because of Mr. Sunday Movies weekly podcast, and I was talking about, they're talking about Luke Cage, and they've been talking about, as the Netflix show's been coming out, they're really long, and they have like a bunch of episodes. They have like 13 episodes per season. They definitely could be cut down, but the point being is like Defenders has 8 episodes, and that was like the series with all of them. So like that one should have had like 13 for the season instead of 8. It should have been like switched, but yeah. Anyways, the Humans. So this was abysmal. I'm kind of I mean, nah. Hold on. I'm looking at these other shows that are like after the Disney Plus shows before I get into those. And there's like a little bit like Powers. I think that was Sony Pictures Television. I've checked out a couple of episodes of that. That was 2015 to 2016, 20 episodes, 2 seasons. It was fine. It was just the budget was kind of low, and so it just didn't look that great. Yeah, Power Pack, Marvel's Most Wanted, New Warriors, Marvel 616. I don't know what any of these are. And then animated, yeah. We're not talking about that today. Only live action. But yeah, so what time is it? Or 2 hours 34. Yeah, we're fine. It might be a longer one. It's cool. Inhumans, this was abysmal. This was like really marketed, trying to be pushed to the forefront, because at the time Marvel didn't have the X-Men, and kind of the Inhumans are like the X-Men kind of, and so Marvel was really trying to push them, and this was originally supposed to be a movie. I think one of like Bob Iger, one of the studio heads, was really trying to push Inhumans or whatever, and since the movie didn't get made, he pushed it to be a TV show on ABC, and the Inhumans have like fantastical powers, and so it looked like shit. Like Medusa, which is like the queen of the Inhumans, her hair, it can like change length and wrap people up and do super strong and durable and whatnot. And guess what they decided to do in the show? Because that would be a really expensive effect to pull off on a consistent basis. So you know what they did, right? You know what they did. They shaved her fucking head. She was like exiled or whatever reason, and they like shaved her head. So it was like, what the fuck? So Medusa doesn't have, like, one of the main Inhumans doesn't have their main power. There's this giant bulldog called Lockjaw with like an antenna on his head, and he could teleport. I don't know how much he's in the show, but that effect didn't look great. Fucking Black Bolt, the literally king of the Inhumans, his voice, if he like whispers, he can like knock down a building type shit. And so it was just the wrong program to feature such people with crazy powers. It just did not look good. The story was dog shit. It just, yeah, wasn't great. I didn't even click on the link because fuck that. The Gifted, what is this? It's the X-Men show. This went for 2 seasons, 29 episodes. And this came out 2017, 2019. Why didn't I hear about this? What was it on? Production company Flying Glass of Milk Productions. Okay. But what did it come on? Created by Fox, set in alternate timeline to the X-Men film series where the X-Men have disappeared. The show is produced by, the series stars Stephen Moyer and Amy Amaker as ordinary parents who take their family on the run after they discover their children's mutants abilities. Okay. Alright, I really don't care. Yeah, so you can watch that. The Punisher. So The Punisher, another Netflix series. The first season, so I like The Punisher as on the whole, the show. I like the character, as previously mentioned, but John Bernthal as the Punisher, wanted to see like more of that, and then also Micro, one of like his main guys, played by Evan Moss, Backrash. Um, he was really good. I really like him as an actor. He's in The Bear. He was in Andor. He's reportedly, whoa, is he Ben Grimm? I think he might be Ben Grimm in the new Fantastic Four, but it's not official. He might be Ben Grimm, so I really like him a lot. One thing I really had a problem with this show though is Jigsaw. Um, Again, I don't know a whole lot about Jigsaw in the comics, but from Punisher Warzone, which is a fire ass movie. Jigsaw, he's like this mob boss. The Punisher throws him in a glass like bottle, like crusher, and so his face it's like I don't know, his face gets like sliced up and shit, and so he just has this. And then the same in the comics, well, not probably, I don't know the same way, but I'm saying like his face is all messed up and stitched together, and it's just really grotesque, and he's really ugly to look at. Yeah, he's hard on the eyes, not gonna lie. Um, but in the show, you know, the events obviously play out differently, but they have him as this, which isn't a problem. I don't think the character changes the problem. Like he's this pretty boy, like CEO, military background. Same with us, Frank Castle, and they were like, they were in like the military together and stuff. But by the end of it, he gets his face literally smashed and like grinded on a mirror by the Punisher and like up and down type shit, or maybe just all the way down. And his face should be really, really fucked up from that. And the next season, or in the end of the season, when he comes back, when you see his face, he has these little dainty ass scars on his face just to keep him like, you know, pretty boy type shit. And it's just like, come on, you didn't commit to that. You did not commit to that. And I just remember the first season being like, oh, it was enjoyable. I liked just seeing more John Berthal as the Punisher. I think that just really carried it. The story was kind of like whatever. I think the performances really carried that for me, and just being set in the Netflix universe and just having that Netflix distinct style and just that. Yeah. But the second season, I just remember not liking as much. He's like rescuing this like girl, and like she's like, you know, a companion with him, and just kind of, I just wasn't really invested in the newer season. But yeah, on the whole, it's fine. I really like it. I like John Berthal a lot. I'm so glad he's coming back. He's definitely like one of those like definitive Punisher type casting type shits, you know? Like, I wouldn't say as definitive as Robbie Downey Jr., but like, you know, he's there. But The Runaways, so this came on Hulu in 2017, 2019. So this is about like these kids, their parents, they found out their parents are in this secret super villain cult, and basically and they have like ties to a lot of big things, and they go on the runaway because, you know, they don't want to be a part of that. And it was pretty decent. I didn't stick with it all the way through. I think maybe I watched the first season, maybe not even finished that, but one character has a fucking raptor dinosaur companion. One character she's actually in Marvel Midnight Suns. Her name's like Nico, and her mom has this staff that can like do a whole bunch of magic shit. There's this guy who's like these gloves, and it was all right. It was kind of cheap looking a little bit. I don't think I had the biggest budget, but yeah, I was like, this was like kind of like peak Marvel era. So I was like checking out, you know, everything kind of they put out. But yeah, I don't even think I stuck with it for a long time, but it's all right. I mean, if I would check it out, maybe, I don't know, but this one for sure I would check out though. Cloak and Dagger. This came on like Freeform. This had 2 seasons, 20 episodes. I didn't finish this, but this is something I actually would want to go back and finish. But Cloak and Dagger, like, I guess they're like this pairing. I don't really remember their origins or anything that really happened in the show. But Dagger, like Cloak has like this, I don't know if it's the cape or it's himself. They're mutants, I think. He has this, let me just read his fucking shit. A teenager who is connected to Tandy Bowen through a shared childhood tragedy with the ability to engulf others in darkness and transport them through the dark force dimension. Johnson has the ability to witness people's fears, having been living in a world of fear since the death I can't read right now, sorry. Since the death of his older brother Billy. Poskaski, I don't know who this is, added there was something interesting in helping him to understand that everyone is afraid. All right. Yeah, so he's connected to the dark force dimension. I don't really know a whole lot about that. Um sounds interesting though, but he's pretty cool. I've seen him pop up in comics a couple times. Um what did I see him in? Oh, was it a Moon Knight comic? I feel like, hold on, I don't feel like checking, but I feel like Moon Knight called on him and he transported them to do something. Maybe he somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, I would definitely be interested to go revisit this and finish it. But in Dagger, she's let me explain her shit real quick. A teenager and street thief who is connected to Tyrone Johnson through a shared childhood tragedy. All right, they have okay, interesting. Oh, Tyrone Johnson's cloak. Okay, I guess. All right, because it just said he was connected to. Oh, I'm fucking it. I'm an idiot. Tandy Bowen is Dagger. Goddamn, I'm stupid. But yeah, I guess they're connected childhood tragedy. But she has the ability to emit light daggers. I guess these are show powers. Because as noted, felt showrunner Joe. Okay, he's the showrunner. Polkaski felt Bowen in the series was more cynical than previous portrayals of the character, and noted that when she touches people, she can access their hopes and desires. And saying there's something exciting about having a cynical character like Tandy who steals things and doesn't believe in the good of man, yet sees the best in them when she touches them. So yeah, it's a cool parallel how Chloe can see like fears and stuff. But they're like a really connected duo, and I'm interested to learn more about them in comics. I just don't know a whole lot about them, but the show was fine. And there was like some calls to, I think Roxxon Corporation or something like that. Hellstrom is the next show, is on Hulu. I didn't see it. It was in 2020. Yeah, I didn't see it, so I'm gonna skip that. But now we're getting into the Disney Plus shows. We're going for 2 hours and 45. Yeah, so we're gonna. Yeah, I don't really have to talk about. Yeah, so these are last like group of shows I'm gonna talk about. I'm not gonna spend too much time on them. As I say that, I'll probably just get to yapping. But yeah, so the first one was WandaVision. This was 2021. This was the first Disney Plus show, and this was really a phenomenon. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just the weekly intrigue and how the show was going, and I loved how this show each episode was a different like sitcom era or whatnot. And I forgot what era it was, but it was like the theme song was really catchy. I like how the intro was different each episode, but it was like that no WandaVision. And they like said that multiple times throughout the intro. It was just a fun one that I remembered. So this was like the kickoff to like Wanda's like villain arc, and which bled into which took over Doctor Strange 2 and made really Doctor Strange 2 feel like a sequel to WandaVision more so than Doctor Strange 1. Like literally the main villain in Doctor Strange, or who was gonna be the main villain, Mordo, he's like offhandedly mentioned to be Doctor Strange's nemesis off screen that we didn't see any development of. And then the first Doctor Strange ended with the cliffhanger of him becoming a villain. So it literally skipped all that just to like tell Wanda's story, which was fine. Like I really like seeing her in the villain role, but it just was not developed properly at all. And then shoehorning that story into Doctor Strange 2, making it disconnected from its first movie, was not the right decision at all either. So this show, I guess, like spawned some bad shit, I guess. But I really liked it when it was airing. It kind of ended. It ended with like the power. I like the ending for this show. A lot of people, because like it ended with Wanda, going head up with Agatha, but then she learned how to do the ruins and shit, and that played a part into the end battle. And then you get the parallels with like his Vision and White Vision and them talking to themselves, and then the Odysseus theory or whatever about like how a ship, if you over time replace each plank of a wooden ship, by like the time it turns like you replace every plank. Is it a new ship or is it the same ship? And they were kind of having that conversation with between like the two visions and whatnot. Yes, and I just liked how like the slowly developed of what was happening in the show, and then you get the introduction of Monica Rambeau. I wouldn't say introduction; she was in Captain Marvel, but I guess adult Monica Rambeau. It was cool seeing her, develop and being trapped, and then the outside stuff. And so yeah, the ending kind of like does devolve in like the army just like being generic army people, but for the most part, bro, WandaVision was fire. I fucked with it a lot. It's definitely one of my top Disney Plus shows for sure. Um, and then you got that Ralph Boner tease and the Quicksilver and stuff. And that was kind of annoying, but it was kind of funny, not gonna lie. The next show was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think this was in 2021 as well. Hold on. Before I get into like the rest of the Disney Plus shows, they kind of did fuck Marvel a little bit. Like with all these shows and all this content being put out, it just kind of muddled everything, to be honest. Even though there's like some highlights in them and whatnot, it just kind of really took it off track. I'm thinking in my head, and honestly, I'll probably say this: special presentations definitely should be around, but I feel like maybe Marvel should have stayed just. Then we release shit like Loki, but it probably should have stayed movies just for like the overall saturation, and you're not getting as many movies out, and of course the story would develop overall faster, but having all this shit, the story's not really developing to anything anyway, or it feels like it. But this, I really like Falcon the Winter Soldier and the character work it did. Even though like Captain America kind of just tells the people, the government at the end, stop being bad people, and that was kind of his message, and really didn't like provide any kind of solutions or whatever, and he kind of just flew off and fucked off. So, but like I really like the Bucky character work, and then the John Walker character work. Is great. Wyatt Russell as John Walker. That's probably one of my favorite new additions to the MCU. Really hope the Thunderbolts is good though, because that's what he's appearing in next. And I don't know, I just really like his descent into madness type shit. And I don't think he was really of a good bloke anyway. Like he's in the fucking army. But I don't know, just like you really just felt like you felt the nuance in his character though. Which I liked a lot. And then you get the Black Panther. The fucking I don't know how to pronounce it, but like his royal guard, the all women royal guard. That was cool to see them come back and like, because and the stuff with like Baron Zemo and shit. I forgot all about that. Them working with Baron Zemo and Wakanda wanting Baron Zemo to put him on trial for killing their king, and then like I'm one of the like warriors does this like this fucking quick pressure point shit on Bucky, and then like his arm falls off. He has a robot arm. Probably sounded crazy, but he has a robot arm. If you didn't know, and so his arm falling off is not. She didn't fucking not decapitate. It's not your head, right? I don't know, mutilate him. But yeah, that was super cool. One thing that was really disappointing though. I mean, besides the villain, because the villain. So the villain in the show has like this really good point of like the people coming back after the snap was reversed. They're displaced. Like they don't have the same houses they had anymore. Like people moved in. It's a fucked up time, and so they're like dealing with that. And she had some really good points. I don't remember them like as a whole right now, but the bad part was like she had good points, and so it's like, okay, she's right. But then so they just made her start doing fucking probably other comic book projects have this problem, but when a villain starts to be too right, they just make them do some out of pocket villain shit, and like she bombed this like place with a bunch of civilians and shit, and she really like didn't have to. Is that after she gets the serum though? Wait, does she have the serum? Fuck, I don't remember. Because I just know the serum like amplifies, your person. So I don't know. But she was too right, so they just made her start doing villain shit. I really liked at the end how like John Walker, came up and stepped up with his makeshift shield and shit. What else? Yeah, and then like ever since we just haven't seen a whole lot of Captain or Sam Wilson's Captain America. Like he's just really been absent from the universe, and you could really feel that. And I don't know, but I like the character work at the very least of this show. Next one. I kind of ready to get done. I've been yapping for almost 3 hours, and I have to fucking record a video after this. Next show is Loki, 2021 to 2023, 2 seasons, 12 episodes. This is my favorite Disney Plus show. It's between that and WandaVision, but yeah, I think it's Loki. I just, bro, Loki just has it's in a different bag than all of these shows, in my opinion. It just has a really clear vision and visual style, which is very aesthetically pleasing. Performances are great. Love Tom Hiddleston as Loki. He really brings his A game. Fucking Owen Wilson as Mobius. And then the second season, let's see the cast real quick. Cause what's B16 or whatever? B15. Wunmi Mosaku. She's really good. She's in I think she's in Lovecraft Country. God damn, that's Jonathan Majors. But she's really good in that. And so is Ravonna Renslayer. Gugu Mabata Ra. Fuck, I hope I did not pronounce your name wrong. But she's really no, she's not in Lovecraft, but she's really good as well. And I just really like how this like show developed, and just the whole man, that my favorite episode probably in the whole series is when Loki gets sent to the dimension, and then like he meets the other Lokis, and then my favorite, and then you meet the classic Loki that has like the comic book standard comic book suit, and like he just goes on that story and how about, you know, missing Thor and shit. Oh my god, that's such a good moment. That episode was really good. We get to see Frog Thor in that episode. That was cool. And then we got to see the Thanos copter, and then classic Loki makes that big sacrifice at the end so that Loki can get through Eliath. It's really good. And then you have Obi. Kehu Kwan is Obi in the second season. And then what was Casey? Who played Casey? He was really good too. Oh, Richard E. Grant as classic Loki. That was great. And then seeing Kid Loki and Alligator Loki and Boastful Loki. Who was I looking for? Casey. Eugene Cordero. Yeah, he was really good too. That's just a well-made show, and it shows, and it's very clear that they had a where they wanted to end the story from start to finish. It was very clear on that, just the way that, you know, the story developed and how things were revealed and played out by the second season. It's just fucking good. Oh, another good episode. Fucking when they were stuck on that one planet and it was being destroyed. I really liked that episode too. And the second season really had some good really good like cinematography shots. Like there was like when the universes would be destroyed, they would like string out or whatever and turn like spaghetti-fy. And there's this moment where like Sylvie was playing a record and then like started to float up, and as the record was spinning, it was unraveling. That was a really good shot, honestly. It's just a really, really well-made show, and I keep saying that because it really is. Just compared to like the other stuff, which is interesting. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier definitely did have its I feel like it had its own like distinct vibe to it too. Next show is Hawkeye. I really like this. Some people, quite a few people did not like this, but I thought it was a great, fun show with Kate Bishop and her introduction, and it reintroduces Nightwing, and why did I say Nightwing? Kingpin. We introduces Kingpin. What the fuck? Kingpin, and then like, you know, you get the introduction of Echo. But that's why a lot of people don't like it. It's because comparative to the comic that this show is based off of, the comic just blows it out of the water. I definitely got to read that run, actually. That's actually probably going to be on my list. It's going to be on my list, but I'm going to boost it up and make it a priority because I really want to get into that. because I've been hearing it was a great run for a while, even before the Hawkeye show. But I guess the run that it's based off of is just way better. But I like the show for the most part as well. So I don't really have a whole lot about it say about it besides it was just a fun show. And I really like I think Kate what's her name? Who plays Kate Bishop? What's her name? Haley Steinfeld. I feel like she's a really good addition to the Marvel universe. And it was just good seeing more of Hawkeye, you know. He just plays the background a lot, I guess. And I feel like there's some really good moments, especially with the play. He's basically, you know, watching some friends that died to just have like make light of it in the play that they were watching. And I really like the kids in that show too. They were very like supportive to him. And it was, I don't know, it was really cool to see like how they were like telling him like, "Oh dad, like we can go. Like we don't have to watch this play." And I just like their relationships together. It felt like really organic and it felt really natural. It kind of reminds me of Miss Marvel. Not like in a way. I feel like I guess it's just different dynamics, but just the naturalness and the organicness of it. You really reminds me of Miss Marvel. So I guess that was like a highlight for me, and I wasn't really in the show a whole lot. I guess the highlight is fucking Kingpin coming back. That was crazy. And the next show is Moon Knight, Mr. Mooney. Now this one's very disappointing for a lot of reasons. Oscar Isaacs as fucking as Mark Spector is great. Not great. I don't know. So Moon Knight has a lot of Jewish ties. Like that's a very important part of his character, and that's like because he has. So if you don't know who Moon Knight is, Mark Spector, he has a personality disorder. Hold on. DID, sorry. And so dissociative identity disorder, and so he has multiple personalities. The main one being, is it the right terminology to say main? But like he was Mark Spector, like that's who the host body is. But it's Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and Jake Lockley. Weird. They has on here, it says Oscar Isaacs is Mark Spector, Moon Knight, Stephen Grant, Mr. Knight, Jake Lockley. And so yeah, so the first episode for Moon Knight started off super strong. It had just the intrigue that is that makes the Moon Knight comics so great. It had that just that psychological, just playing with your mind. And Moon Knight works the best, at least starting out, in my opinion, is when it's like, so Moon Knight, he started off as Mark Spector, started as a mercenary. He died. He came back from Khonshu, the moon god, bringing him back. Is he Egyptian? Egyptian moon god bringing him back, and so he's can never die type shit. And so, but he has dissociative identity disorder, so he doesn't know if, for a while he didn't know if Khonshu was like real. And so it's just a trippy, like in comics, it's like, is he real? And then like his mind would make other alters. There's a really good Moon Knight run where he has Wolverine, Captain America, and Spider-Man alters in his mind, and they like talk to him and whatnot. And it's just like a thing like, are they really like there, or are they not? Or is Khonshu real? Is Mark, does he have superhuman strength, or does he have powers? Like, because it's like you can't trust his perspective fully. And so it's really, Moon Knight's at his best when you're playing with that. And then after you play with that for a bit, and then you like confirm Khonshu's real, you step into the sun god and the stuff like that. And the show just revealed its hand way too fast. Like after like the second, and it's because it's a limited, and they were falling into this trap, and I'm glad that they're increasing episodes, it seems like, for these shows. But it's 6 episodes, and so I mean, for me, Moon Knight, you can make something shake with him in 6 episodes if you do it right. But they just blew it out way too much. There was a council of gods. Khonshu confirmed to be real way too soon. Like he fucking fights a giant ass alligator monster at the end, or Khonshu does, like it's this giant like fight. But it does have its kind of good moments. And then also I really didn't like how it had to grow on me a little bit, but it still hasn't really got there. But Stephen Grant, how they switched up his personality. I really like how Stephen Grant is in the comics, and how and it's the same vibe. Like each alter has their own like standout like thing that they can do and bring to the table and help Mark Spector be Moon Knight and shit. But like Steven Grant has like he's like a Hollywood mogul or like a producer or some shit, so he has hella money. And that's how like most of their shit, their endeavors and their gadgets are fun. It's through Steven Grant, but he has a lot of Hollywood connections. And like Jake Lockley is this seedy underground taxi driver who has a lot of street connections. And like Mark just calls on them to like bring him information or just help him further his superhero career. And it's just a really interesting dynamic. But I just didn't like how they portrayed Steven Grant. To be honest, it was just really kind of disappointing. And then especially with like how they handled the action. So like the action in Moon Knight's comics is really like really dynamic and really creative, and just they really dropped the ball with the action. They cut away from the action, and like he has like an episode and he blacks out and then he comes back and the action's over. Like he already did it off screen. Like it's just like what? And literally the final fight ends like that, and it's crazy. But one thing I really liked about the show, like I said, the first episode, and I like Oscar Isaac's performance in general, even though in general, I think he plays a good Mark Spector, and each personality feels really distinctive. The Moon Knight costume, when it's actually physical and not a CGI monstrosity, looks fucking great. Of course, I prefer like that cloth vibe, but I really like the take that they did on this. It looks so good when it's actually physical though. Yeah, I really so there's supposed to be a season 2 rumored to be being worked on, and it was kind of up in the air if this was getting a season 2. I think it was just really based on reception and views and whatnot. But I'm open to a season 2 if it's kind of more of the same like the first season, and I'm kind of like a little turned off. And I'll watch the second season, but that's probably gonna kill it for the third season for me. But I see the potential off the first episode. I see the potential, and they could definitely turn it around, but that remains to be seen. So Moon Knight overall is just really disappointing, but I see it could be something. Miss Marvel. So I really liked. So this was Kamala Khan, Iman Vellani. This was her debut role, and she plays Miss Marvel perfectly. This was like really perfect casting. Like this is honestly up there with Tony Stark and Iron Man type shit. Like she's the perfect Miss Marvel. I'm kind of gonna go through these fast because, bro, we can go for 3 hours, bro. I'm tired of talking, and I gotta talk some more for a video. But yeah, she's really good at Miss Marvel. So like I was saying with Hawkeye, like I really love the family dynamic in Miss Marvel. It has a lot of personality in like the first 2 episodes, like the text bubbles and the way they're texting and shit, like shows up like how they portray that, and then like the family dynamic felt really organic. But when this show's focused on that stuff, it's great, but it loses that personality. Like I don't know if it was like a creative direction like shift or whatever, but it loses that like that flair in the first like couple episodes, and then once you move away from the family dynamic and you get into the villains of the show, it really falls apart drastically. The one of the villains is like they're like, fuck, what is the main villains? I don't even remember their name, but they're super generic and super contradictory on their statements. Like at one point, I don't know. At one point they're saying like, "Oh, take them alive," and then they just like you're doing shit to like kill them. And the clandestines are fucking dog shit. That was terrible. The only stuff that like was good when it wasn't focused on like her family and like friends and shit like that was when she like was when it was dealing with sending her back to the past and learning about like her grandma and or great grandma or grandma or something. Like that was interesting, but again, you only have 6 episodes, so it's like you kind of don't have a whole. There's a lot of stuff to work with, and it just did not come together for me. But really, the highlights, like I said, was the family dynamic, which is good in Miss Marvel, and then Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. Like I'm really excited to see her just continuing to interact with the Marvel universe. Yeah. Let's see. And then we have She-Hulk and then Secret Invasion. She-Hulk. So let me just go Secret Invasion real quick. Poopy, dog shit. Was very disappointing. This show could have banged back when Marvel was at its height, and like the clamoring around. Like I want to see a Nick Fury project for like since he's been introduced type shit, and then like we finally get one. Like I thought this was gonna be Marvel's Andor, like just a really like a kind of a more mature vibe and like espionage, like spy stuff, and it kind of just dropped the ball. It just was really boring, super uninteresting. All the twists were kind of like you could see them coming from a mile away. They sucked. The fucking end battle was terrible. Yeah, this project surrounding Nick Fury should have been a lot better. Yeah, don't really want to really get into that because I'm trying to wrap this bitch up. But She-Hulk Attorney at Law. So this was very controversial when it dropped because I don't know, it was just super goofy. Okay, I like the She-Hulk character in this for the most part. Jen Walters is great, and then like the actor portraying her she's great as well. But this show, by the end of it, was kind of like so they did this thing where like because more so She-Hulk can break the fourth wall, right? And so by the end of the show, it's so the whole show is kind of like this generic like kind of going like through the motions type shit, but like they have that funny commentary on it, like oh like Daredevil's been like a lot of people wanted to see Daredevil in the show because he was showing up in that, and so like Jen like makes comment on that, like, oh, you want to see Daredevil, like, oh, but this is my show, like da da da, and so, or not Daredevil specifically, it's like I think it was like an episode with Wong, and like, oh, you want to go back to like them or whatever, but you're stuck with me, and it was like that type of stuff is fun, but it still just falls into like this generic like way it goes, and then by the end of it, they're like, oh, that was the point the whole time. Like, oh, this was being made or run by like this machine, like Kevin in quote unquote Kevin Feige. And so it's like all that generic stuff that was on purpose. And so it's just like, okay, that's cool. But in making fun of the generic stuff, you just did exactly the same exact generic stuff. And so it was just like, okay, I feel like to make that statement, you gotta at least be interesting with it, and it just really wasn't. And so, like I said, I feel like the characters in seeing Daredevil really carried this for me. And I thought the show was kind of funny and pretty funny, to be honest. Not every joke landed, of course, but for the whole, I feel like the comedy was really decent. But it was just the overall, just like, oh, you thought we were bad on accident, but we're actually bad on purpose. Like okay, like what the fuck, like you shoveled this shit in my mouth to I don't yeah, it was a head scratcher, honestly. But yeah, I liked it overall though. So like I'm interested to see her come back and whatnot, and her origin was kind of weird. Like whatever, I'm trying to end this, but I'm interested to see more of She-Hulk. But I like the stuff with the Abomination. That was cool seeing him coming back too. And I really liked Wong. The Wong episode was fun. But yeah, like it was just that ending was just weird to me. And then like, just yeah, it's a head scratcher for sure. I really hope they go a different route and actually try to make a good show for the second season. And that's not to say I hated the first season, but it's just like, all right, okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that's all the Marvel shows for the most part. But yeah, that was a lot of yapping, bro, for 3 hours and 11 minutes. And I got on my weekly watch list. God damn. Fuck. All right. Well, I'm gonna blitz through this. So I went back and revisited a couple albums. Megatron 2 by Babytron. And I pulled. So when I was first listening to that album, I was really lazy when I was making it. Not making it. I was really lazy when I was like listening to it, and like usually like I listen to it a couple times and like add the songs that I want to my playlist, but I was kind of just like listening to it and not adding it. But I went back and I added a couple ones that I thought were good, but I just didn't have. But 241 with Babytron and Babyface E, that's a banger. What's Funny, banger. Tutorial, 90s Bulls, bro. I fucked with this song, but I was yeah. The beat for it is crazy, bro. It is so crazy. It makes me feel like I'm being stalked by Jaws or some shit. It is amazing. Babytron's like, and this is why I like Detroit rap in general. But for the most part, bro, their beat selection is so like, is just so like, I don't know. It just resonates with me hella. Like I fuck with mostly all the beats they pick, and it's just like none of some generic shit. And that's my thing with rap, I guess now. a lot of shit just to sound the same. Like everyone's not sound the same necessarily, but everyone's saying the same things type shit, you know? And so if you're not, for me, if you're not saying it in creative ways, like your bars aren't creative, at least for like Detroit rap, like um you're not making like creative references, like fucking Baby Smooth said in his one of his songs. He said, "My homies call me Rush Hour because my favorite bitch is Asian." Like, come on, that's funny. Like that reference is like funny, and it's a bar type shit too. So like, and Baby Tron does that a lot, and that's why I really like him as a rapper. But he makes that shit sound good type shit. You know, it's not like no corny shit either. But like Detroit niggas just are creative with the rap, and it just makes it a lot more enjoyable to me. Like you don't know how many times, and this is of course not with all of them, but like where I just like laugh like at some shit they said, but you know they make it sound fire. So yeah, I bring back and revisited that, and then grab '90s Bulls, D's Nuts, Kaisen at Old Days with Lil Tyler, Murder Mitten, and Stutter Flow. And speaking of Lil Tyler though, he drops this. It wasn't. I don't think it's super. Let me see when it came out. Actually, let me turn my volume down. Make sure music don't play. Um, this song dropped November 24th of 2023, so it's not super. It's not super new, but I don't know. I fuck with Lil Tyler, and I want to see him like grow as an artist and shit. He's a young nigga, so I want to see him as grow as an artist and shit, and where his career leads him, and whatnot. But he's pretty fire, especially just starting out too. Um, so I hope he keeps growing and evolving. But and then also I went back and revisited Unstoppable by Stan Will. I think I was a little too hard. I Not even too hard. I just needed a couple listens to really grab some songs. I mean, I liked it on my first listen, but I went back and I grabbed the songs Impossible, song 7, Baby Tron, MJ Paid, and let me see who's. I think it says 40 TRD and J100. I fuck with J100. It's tough. Hide and Seek and R&B. So yeah. And then I went back. Mentioned the Suicide Squad. I went back and watched that. That was really great. I really liked that movie a lot, to be honest. Um, there's really some. I was laughing the whole time, bro. There's some really funny moments in that movie. I love the way it's structured. Love the way it looks. And then the last movie I think I watched some other. Oh, I watched L.A. Confidential, but I kind of fell asleep, so I didn't really want to talk about that. But Neighbors with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. So seeing like the Iron Claw and like seeing Zac Efron back into these like less serious roles, like stuff like 17 again, and obviously like High School Musical, but like Neighbors and stuff where it's more. And these are good roles. He's actually really funny, but it's just cool seeing that transition from his acting career, because like Iron Claw is like so serious and shit, and then watch something like Neighbors where he's like a frat guy and he's fucking making dick jokes and shit like that. But yeah, that's it for my weekly watch list. Hopefully, I watch a little bit more, and I guess next week I'll be talking about. So next week will be though, Echo's dropping. I don't know if I'll finish all the episodes, but they're dropping all the episodes on, which is like not usually the norm for Disney Plus shows. They usually drop them weekly, but they're dropping all the episodes at once. So I don't know if I'll be done by the time I talk about the podcast, because I'll probably be watching them with my shorty. So that's like at a slower pace. And even if fucking when I was by myself, it's like I got other shit to do. So I'll probably just get my first impressions on that if I don't finish it, and then I'll probably do the Spider-Man. Ooh, that'll probably be a good episode. For main topic for next episode. First impressions if I don't finish Echo. If I do finish it, Echo review. But if I don't finish it, pair that with my impressions on the first issue of the Ultimate Spider-Man. Since that drops next week. So I'll probably be the topic, and then it'll be cool to have a comic as the main topic too. So. Do any movies drop? I'll check and see if any movies drop, but I don't think so. I know I think actually might be in February. I gotta check that. I know Kill the Suicide Squad, or the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is dropping pretty soon. I think either at the beginning of next month or end of this month. So, gotta get my bucks in order for that. Because the Prince of Persia is dropping too, and I want to get that, and that's dropping the 18th or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the weekly watch list. As we're moving on to Pondering My Orb, I didn't really have anything for Pondering My Orb, bro. But it's day 7 of the year, bro. Just stay focused. That's my biggest thing. Like, when I got like the individual time, like in that time in between shit, like when it's like I just be scrolling on Twitter, bro. Gotta stop that. Like obviously, like there's benefit to be on Twitter, especially for this podcast, like getting news and shit. But um, just that randomly scrolling, bro. Just gotta stop that. And that's just an example, but stuff like that, and just like when I'm randomly scrolling, bro, I could be writing a script on my phone type shit. Like you just gotta lock in, bro. You gotta be better than the day before, or try to just be better in the areas that you lack in type shit. But don't be too hard on yourself as well. You need your time to rest, but also you just gotta lock in, brother. I think I said that last week too, but that's just what I'm on, bro. Locking in, lock in, lock in, lock in. Yeah, but that's the end of this podcast. Damn. Let me shout out my socials and shit. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I think those are main ones. But at DS2 Smooth, DS number 2 SMOOVE. And then follow my main. All right, I think I ran out of space, so I gotta end it there. But yeah, follow my main YouTube channel, DS2 Smooth. I'll catch you guys next week.